Yeah, like that. It's the Q to the B to the double E, spitting lovely, and it don't stop. Rock shine through my tank top. With your bank stock, I deposit all in one drop. Think not, excuse me, but I like the flow, cause this joint not harder than Indicat, and I'll be off the wall like the lot. Snack box filled with Benjamins. Me and my girl Missy getting pissy up in Bennigan, making all you other rappers begin again. Like Finnegan, Christians repent and sin again. Girls wanna be my friend again. Lay up in my crib with, get up in my linens and while it's Amina hit notes like Sarafina. I subpoena you to my front room. See, I hit you with the she hit you with the
You're not good enough to satisfy me. I can't satisfy me. Even with your cars and all the fly whips, I won't trip. Cause I got many guys that wanna buy me. French cuts for my wrist to keep me hooked smooth out and good. I keep hit 'em with the heat. I hit 'em with the heat. Hit 'em with the heat. I hit 'em with the heart. This one's for you and me. It's for you and me. Yeah. Just cause you cash a check and put it in the bank. That don't make me wanna go out and sleep with you. No. I got my own ride and gas in the tank. Thanks, but no thanks. I won't be needing you. I hit 'em with the heat. Hit 'em with the heat. I hit 'em with the heart. Yeah. It's for you and me. For you and me. For you and me. Play it in your clothes.
Yeah, it be me, M.O. on the M.I.C. Reppin' NYC, the true VIP. And I can't see nobody who could come this real. Get it done, it's real. Getting love, it's real. A nigga love this feel. Give me a Dutch to pill. Mocha taking over, cause I'm so ill. Y'all used to talk shit, now y'all witnessing it. And while I'm spitting like this, check what I'm hitting them with.
I hit 'em with the heat. I hit 'em with the heart. This is for you and me. This for you and me. Baby, play it in your heart.
Sometimes I feel like doing a beat, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like moving my feet, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I feel like doing a beat, sometimes I don't. Sometimes we make you move your feet, sometimes we don't. Mr. Vito,
I'm coming round the corner. You think you tough, then let me see what you wanna. Cause on the mic I get it hot like Daytona, don't I? I get the party jumping from 5 in the morning. You wanna bubble with the beat and let me see you call. You wanna be a big baller, big spender, hold it. I got the feeling that you're trying to impress me. 1, 2, 1, 3, hit you with the heat.
sometimes I feel like doing a beat, sometimes I don't. Sometimes we feel like moving your feet, sometimes we won't. Sometimes I feel like doing a beat, sometimes I don't. Sometimes we feel like moving your feet,
Sometimes we won't. Hey, yo, when I tell you that part of that motherfucking song used to have me feeling like, there was like a power, baby, that came off of that Buick sample, honey. Okay, and it just screams just how talented Timbaland is and why it's so important to be versatile and to be cultured and to be open-minded. For him to blend that sample and hip hoppity that shit out like that was just, it was an eargasm. Nonetheless, girl, we are here to get into Lil' Kim. Now, I must be in a female hip hop spirited type of a fucking mood because my commentary lately has been about these female rap chicks. And when I had initially did my Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion commentary, we got into some Lil' Kim discussion. And I want to really get into Kim because I just find, first of all, she's a very intersectional woman, living a very intersectional reality. Let me go ahead and drop this link actually so my folk can pile up in here. And on top of that, her life has just been littered with so much controversy. And I want to talk about where did it all go so wrong? The rise and the fall of Kimberly Jones. And is there a potential for a comeback? So I want us to get into her surgeries. I want us to get into her talent. I want us to get into the colorism of it all. I want us to get into the patriarchy of it all. I want to get into where the media went wrong, where Lil' Kim is responsible. Kim and Nicki Minaj, girl, we're going to just deep dive into all things Kimberly. Now, I need my folk. Matter of fact, let me call my folks, y'all, to hit the motherfucking link, because I told y'all we was going to end one stream and come back and do it again, okay? I shouldn't even be up fucking with y'all this late in the midnight hour, girl, because I got an old nasty piece of tattoo session again in the motherfucking morning. And I'm supposed to be asleep, getting my beauty rest. What's going on? Because, baby, I'm a thug. Hey, love. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Plain. Oh, one of the four already up in this bitch.
Hey.
Don't ask background. Yes. You know what? You need to. Do they have some other styles of that? Because I like the effect.
Yeah, they do, actually.
I'm trying to nasty link.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes. Cool. I want to be doing all that shit. What's going on, Monica? So I did drop the link. Moss, if you guys are in the building, you guys can rotate it. Anybody who want to join into this, we're just having a free, unfiltered, honest discussion about the Queen Bee herself. So conversation might get difficult. Some parts of this, I'm sure, is going to sound like a hater. It's fine. You know, honest dialogue is not completely flattering all the time, no matter who you're talking about. I want to introduce my boo, Lady T, or as I was calling her yesterday, Lady Tia, baby. Lady T back in the building. We're going to wait for my boo. Hey, we're not going to wait, but we want to, people will be piling in. And if you guys, hey, boo.
Hi, Conscious. Hey, Reckless. How are you?
I love that y'all are up carrying on with me in these midnight hours.
I'm not going to be up here too long, but I had to with my girl Kim, child.
Yeah, so
in the case
so I guess my first question is, everybody up here, I'm assuming, is a fan.
Yes.
Of Kim. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Would y'all say that Kim is instrumental in shaping the contemporary female rappers of our time?
Yes.
100%. Okay.
Well, 98.7%.
Okay, so from y'all's perspective, tell me. Hold on, I think we got somebody new in the background. Hold on. I don't know if I've ever seen Miss. Hold on, we got folk coming in. Let me get my boo Refuse to Lose back up here, and then
I was trying to wait for some more mods to come in first, but I'm up.
Oh, over here. I'm sure that the conscious crew will be well behaving tonight. Most of the trolls ought to be sleeping.
No, this is a late night hour, baby.
Let me introduce Miss Lisa to the stage. Lisa.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? Welcome to the panel. Can you hear us?
I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Lisa.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Welcome to the stage. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Welcome to the panel.
I'm Lisa from the United Kingdom.
Oh,
Huh?
she said her name is Lisa and she's from the United Kingdom. Yes, ma'am. Take me to the
Dropped
kingdom.
off. I'm trying to vet Miss Lisa first, but she had dropped off. Okay, so we're gonna try not to be here too long.
You said that last time.
Damn, reckless. All this girl, what you stretching your drawers out, bitch?
Girl, I'm over here trying to get my life together, bitch.
You don't put a belt on them goddamn elastics, girl. Now, everybody up here said that they are fans of Lil Kim. So I want to know from you guys, like, just to get straight into the bullshit of it all. Where for y'all did it go wrong with Kim? No, maybe that's too general of a question. I want to start off with one of the most triggering topics of Nicki and Lil Kim's beef. Who the fuck are y'all holding? Who do y'all think was who? And like, who was the villain? Who was the victim in that situation?
When Nicki first came out, I did see the Kim in her, as far as the outfits and things. I did see it, and the different colors and stuff like that. Because Kim was, she started off, really unique. All the different colors, and she actually was one of the first that I actually remember. Not naked, but and so
Explicit.
I did see her and Nicki when Nicki first came out.
Okay, so you are acknowledging little Nicki Minaj as a copycat Lil Kim clone.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that accurate?
Okay,
so because I just want to get y'all initial thoughts. So who do you, when at the time that Kim and Nicki were beefing hard, who do you feel? Do you feel that Kim was the victim in the situation?
I feel like she was the victim because I think Nicki should have just been more upfront that she respected her style instead of just playing off like she didn't take nothing out of what she seen Kim bring.
Okay. Hold that thought. I think we got my boo Tabitha. Hey Tabitha.
Hey.
You must be coming in from a disappointment, honey. You all fancy looking.
I know that's right.
Y'all, why am I in the McDonald's parking lot, y'all? It's so long. I'm so happy you got on live because at this point, I might as well just get a sleeping bag.
Period. I mean, but you look gorgeous. Where the hell you coming from? Why you in McDonald's parking lot all beat like this?
Okay, all right. I had to go to Walmart, so I threw a wig on. That's it. I ain't got nothing on but a wig and some lip gloss. That's it.
Yeah.
You look plastic ready, bitch.
Yeah, girl, clearly you single because you giving me I'm looking for a man even in these hours.
Look, at this point, no, I'm just joking. No, I'm married, y'all. I had a baby a year ago. So yes, I'm married. Actually, my anniversary is next week. I've been married for 6 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm trying to get my sexy back. I had a baby, so I'm trying to come up out of that, get my sexy back.
Tabitha, you representing for you. Y'all gonna be so proud. You represent for even in the parking lot of McDonald's.
Okay.
That's his wife. That's his wife.
But I don't mind. You looking?
Girl, he gonna knock
well, I cannot wait to get your perspective on this, child, because this conversation for me has been a long time coming. I've never really gotten into Kim to this extent. or had this discussion here. So I'm just curious to know what you guys really think about what's going on with Miss Kimberly and everything that's happened with her career. It's just very interesting to me. I want to go to Lady T. What? Who was at fault, or who was the victim, or the hero in the Little Kim Nicki Minaj drama?
Okay. So it's like a hindsight thing for me. In the moment, and still to this day, I didn't appreciate the fact that Nicki had such a hard time just paying homage or just giving props or just giving Kim her flowers. And I was still kind of like rooting for Kim, like, Kim still got it. She ain't, because I'm like a year or two older. Like me and Kim are peers, so I didn't want to be old. You understand what I'm saying? So I was appreciating this young woman, and I'm still pop knocking and dropping and everything. So I was not feeling it.
Ma'am.
But I tell you, when I realized that there comes a time in life when you have to kind of just let evolution happen. And it was when I was working in elementary school. I was teaching theater arts, and I had all the kids up, and we were playing this game called reality TV. This is what I do with your children. Don't feel no type of way. I'm just telling you what happens when y'all are putting them off. And so we were playing reality TV. And the rules is you tell me what your celebrity is, who your celebrity is, and everybody has to guess who it is based on your responses when you're at this reunion. So they're at the reunion, and they all have a character that they chose. They were all Cardi B. One girl was Mariah Carey, right? But no one knew who it was. So I was trying to get the kids to understand. I said, well, maybe she isn't all that relevant. One of the kids jumped up, and this is a few years back, jumped up and was like, oh, who did they say? Beyonce. And I gasped, like, oh, what do you mean not relevant? And then the other one jumped up, and I was like, no, it's not Beyonce. And then the other one jumped up and said Nicki Minaj. And that's when I knew it was over. If these kids are saying that these young ladies are not relevant, and they're talking about Cardi B this, Cardi B that, Megan this, Megan that, whether you like it or not, you're not that girl anymore. And that was my lesson. That was.
So you saying that you don't feel like she knew when to sit the fuck down?
Exactly.
Look, Kim.
Everybody.
Everybody
have a hard time realizing when their time
is up.
Is up. And
but isn't it a hard time to know like when you need a break or when you know when the time is up? Is there, because some artists go through phases of success. Like Mariah Carey is a prime example. Like people did not think she would recover from Glitter, and then here came the emancipation of Mimi, and she set it off all over again.
Right, she did the thing. If you come in with an emancipation of Mimi, I would have to see. I don't know how old she was at the time, but if you come in with an emancipation of Mimi, I hear you. You go ahead and you do that. But right now, Good Morning Gorgeous is not. I mean, I know that it's on TikTok and everything, but I'm not impressed. I'm not moved, and I'm a Mary J.
I like it.
You like it? Refuse to lose.
It's all
I
right.
love it.
I haven't.
All right, it's a nice sentiment, but I'm not like.
She's not moved.
I'm not moved, but it's a nice sentiment. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't knock the sentiment. Black Lives Matter too. All of that.
Okay. Well, hold that thought. Reckless, I know you are a beehive. Lil Kim, can do hardly no wrong. The Nicki and Lil Kim drama. What's up with that? So hold on. A Lil Kim turned around recently and apologized. I feel a way about that too. But go ahead.
What did she apologize for?
I'll let
Just curious. I'm sorry, Reckless, because you might know. What did she apologize for?
I'll let him explain.
Well, I'm gonna put that in my notes so I can make sure I get to that. Because girl, everybody know
no, he got the notes.
Now the thing with me, I always have notes because I know these panels getting a little lengthy, and I don't want to forget my point or whatever. All right, so the whole thing to Now, when it came down to the whole Nicki and Kim thing, people already know how I feel about that for the most part. When it comes down
Well,
to
we don't
it,
know how you
I
feel.
feel like I'm about to reiterate. I feel like Kim was the victim and then Nicki was the villain. Now, the reason why I say this is because the narrative was put out there like Kim was the aggressor, but however Nicki was the villain, and Nicki was the victim, and which was the reason why I was saying like every single time I have these type of conversations, I'm like, yes, that's part of you be actually being the victim is when they paint you to be the villain and no one's believing you and you like this is the truth, this is what's going on, and people looking at you crazy. When it comes down to you stealing people's music, their lyrics, when it comes down to taking the style, when it comes down to homage, because people love to say, yeah, she gave homage. Yes, she did, but
I
however,
like that
proper
concept.
homage. Because I can sit up there and say, hey, I love you and da 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 da. But however, I can give you a backhanded compliment, and I feel like a lot of people need to learn what that is because a lot of people receive it all the time, and that's why y'all make excuses for it because you can't detect it. But now this whole thing about being relevant, I find it very fascinating too that also was brought up because back in the day, the whole thing about being relevant and that never really came up until Nicki Minaj. Like the whole thing when it came down to other female rappers, the whole thing that happened, you became a legend in the game and you was respected for what you have done, like what you have contributed, well, what impact that you had. But yet when Nicki Minaj got into the game, now that's when the whole year has been, and now all of a sudden you're not supposed to be this legend or whatever. You're irrelevant. So now the whole thing about apologizing. Now the whole thing with apologizing, she
Hold on for a minute.
apologized.
Hold on. Put a pin in it right there.
Put a pin.
Wait. When you said that the whole relevant thing, do you think that wasn't said until Nicki came because that was people's way of saying, look, all y'all rap girls had the floor. So why act like it's a problem now that Nicki's in the space when the space been fucking empty and available? Ain't been nothing but space and opportunity for female rappers. Now all of a sudden everybody pissed and feeling away, and so I think people felt like Lil Kim was like pressed about something she had the opportunity to fucking optimize on if that's what she wanted to do. Just to play devil's advocate, because I'm on your side of the narrative that Kim is the victim, but I also kind of like understand that the timing of her issues with Nicki, which is ironic to the public because Kim was sitting on her ass. And
but Kim had just came home.
Well, Remy just came home and got right on it.
And keep in mind too, like and that's the thing when it comes down to this homage and music and stuff. She was literally putting Kim's name in her songs. So the whole thing behind it really just kind of baffles me when people be like, oh, if she wasn't coming for her. Like she has Kim's name in the songs, and the whole thing behind it, people just don't want to see it. Whatever. Now, when it comes down to the whole apologizing thing, I believe she apologized for the whole, I guess, everything that happened. But however, this is another thing I realized too. I don't think she should have apologized. That's just me. But I think also because of Christianity and religion, a lot of black folk, we apologize for a lot of shit that we kind of don't always have to apologize for, especially if we're not in the wrong. Or we have this thing where we apologize for closure. Bitch, I wasn't the one in wrong. Ooh, I done dropped my shit.
So
I think she apologized because she actually realizing that she do see a lot of herself. And we know when Kim first came out, she was going hard just like Nicki. She wasn't hearing nothing. She was dropping them and dropping them and dropping them and dropping them. And Nicki is doing the same thing. And then the whole color thing, Kim toned it down, but Nicki is still that plague that's there. You can't help but to see her. Even if you don't like her song, the appearance of what she's bringing with the song is Kim.
Okay, and the whole of that thought right there, I just want to, because maybe we're using the term apology, it's not the right term, but she kind of made amends. Yeah, and I want to read the article before we go a little bit further, but I want to introduce Kiki to the panel. Hey, Kiki, how you doing, love?
Hey, Kiki.
Hey y'all.
Hey, welcome.
Hey, I'm
We
on
are
that
just
drink
talking about
tonight.
this, huh?
I'm on that drink tonight.
Look, I am interested in your thoughts. I was about to read this Little Kim so-called apology, which is not really apology, but the article comes from OK Player, and it reads, this week, Little Kim stopped by The Real 92.3 to discuss her upcoming album and new rappers she supports, only to be asked about the assumed current rivalry with fellow rapper Nicki Minaj. When radio host Bootleg Kev asked the Queen Bee her opinion on Nicki Minaj's upcoming album titled Queen, she responded, I quote, why isn't this about Kim? If we're going to mention one female, we're going to mention them all. We need to mention them all. We need to bring everybody in, and we need to give everybody love. She continued, God bless her, Kim said, adding, I wish her the best. I'm past that and over that. She did what she did, and until she's ready, hopefully God puts it on her mind to do the right thing, because she knows what she did. Once that happens, hopefully everybody would stop asking me, because you don't do that to her. Kim went on to address the media's role in covering women in hip hop and projecting narratives onto artists. Every time stuff like this comes out, it's always, oh, why is she talking about it? But you guys are the ones asking me. Let each female shine, she says. Let's give every girl, including old girl, their own recognition. Let's celebrate every girl in their own right. So she basically was saying, look, stop asking me about this hoe, because y'all don't ask this hoe about me at this point. And I'm past it. It's old news. The bitch knows what she did. And, and if she's ever ready to, clean up her end of it, then, I'm open to that. In the meantime, God bless her. We all also know that Kim stated that she would be interested in a Nicki Minaj in a versus battle with Miss Nicki. So I want y'all opinions on that too. But before I go further, I want to let Reckless complete his notes.
Bitch, you tried it. Okay, so the whole thing about the whole apologizing thing, I just find it very well, my initial thoughts. The
So let's
apologizing
say
thing, I'm
not
like,
apologizing, but how do you feel about her wishing her well? Do you feel like Kim should still be holding Nicki to the fire?
I feel like no, she shouldn't be like upset about it, but I probably wouldn't. I don't know, because at the end of the day, like it's a process for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So if she's in that space where she's like, you know what, it is what it is, it happened, because maybe she feels like she needed to do that part to actually fully move on, because only God knows. You could be like, okay, I'm done with it, but however, deep in your heart, you probably still feel a certain type of way, which is understandable. Everybody has their own process, so I understand that. But can I address something though?
Yes.
Because I seen this comment. All right. People keep talking about this whole thing about this paid homage thing. The whole thing about paying homage. Yes, Nicki Minaj did pay homage to Little Kim.
She put Kim in her top 5.
Yes, she did pay homage to Little Kim. But however, because this is the part y'all keep forgetting, it was not proper homage. Reason being, she will give Kim a compliment, but then discredit her in the same sentence, but it would be in a subtle way. Like, for instance, once again, on this last panel, I literally said it before. The whole thing behind it, I feel like a lot of people don't get it because we're talking about Little Kim and Nicki Minaj. Let's use Beyonce. A lot of people love Beyonce, a lot of people hate Beyonce, whatever. But let it Beyonce. And she has Chloe Bailey. They're very similar. I would say you'll see resemblance or whatever. Let's say Chloe Bailey go on the internet or whatever and say, I love Beyonce, she's my mentor, da da da. But however, she is the greatest until I got into the room. Y'all, like, no one sees nothing like that. Like, no one sees the issue in that. Like, you can't sit there and say you are, and keep in mind, put that, intertwine that with you taking her lyrics, you taking her look, you're taking the people that you're taking Diddy, you're taking Keisha Cole, you're taking all these people that she have alliances with, you dissing all of your music, like the whole thing behind it. Tell the bitch, not that one, the what's the hello good morning, with the whole reference about
I killed the
Alexander.
queen. Alexander, my queen, got the wrist song. Whoa, yeah.
And then people talk about she not talking about her. But the whole thing, I just killed a queen and Alexander McQueen. Let's not forget Alexander McQueen was one of Little Kim's closest friend that ended up killing himself or ended up dying. So, but here's the thing about it. Y'all need to really, really look into the music because Nicki Minaj is nothing that's really hidden with Nicki Minaj. She says it. Y'all just need to listen. It's a reason why Little Mama don't like Nicki Minaj either. People tell me, why is that? She literally said in her 5-star, I believe in her 5-star chick verse, hey Little Mama, I'm up in my dream car when I was in the back doing something, and then she was like, but however, Little Mama, when you went on stage, they were booing and wheezing. She said her name, but people don't. Nicki Minaj literally says everything. Y'all just need to listen to what she says.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Because see, you are just inspiring questions, and I know I got to get to Tabitha and Kiki as well. But do you? Because in that commentary that in that live we did a few days ago, we spoke about like how Nicki has like a competitive edge. Just why she always compares herself to athletes and her dynamics with other rap women to courtside LeBron James, she's a Michael Jordan. She obviously has a very competitive spirit. Do you think it's possible? Because I don't like the way Nicki dealt with the Little Kim bullshit either. But just to try to see it from like a non-demonic perspective, do you think it's possible that Nicki on one end admired Kim and she was like the godmother of female rap, but then in the other, because Nicki Minaj was an up-and-coming female rapper, she also wanted to validate herself by dethroning Kim, but not maliciously, but like, if I can compete against who I believe is the best in the industry and actually win competitively, then certainly my presence is vindicated in all of this. Like, do you think for Nicki the competitive edge could have been from a place of just being competition, or do you think she like literally wanted, like she had malicious intent when it came to Kim, or was it competition?
Malicious intent. The reason why I'm saying it's malicious intent because if you wanted to be competitive and stuff, you would have owned it. Instead of putting this narrative like, oh my God, she's attacking me. Oh my God, I don't do nothing wrong, but you know what you're doing. And then you got people over here looking at her crazy as in, oh, Kim, Nicki doesn't even talk about you in her raps. What are you talking about?
But this is the thing, hold on. Before you go any further, but to Nicki's credit, and considering what I just said, she kept saying it. My perspective will have a little bit more oomph to it because Nicki kept saying, show up in your music, Kim. This is not meant for you to be personalizing and whining about in every motherfucking radio show. Show up in your, because that's where Nicki wanted to smoke, was be Kim. Because if I let you be at your best and kill you at your best, then we have a fair one. This not a fair one. If you in interviews whining and I'm out here hitting the charts, hitting the stage, hitting the studio, and I'm calling you to the stand musically, that's where I want the fight. No? Okay, go ahead.
No.
Not when you squatting down with your legs open like my first cover.
But here's the thing behind it. And this, I always have this whole thing when we have this Nicki Minaj, it's not consistent. Because the whole thing behind it, she sits there and says, this is how I want you to respond or hit the charts. But then when Cardi B gets in the room, you don't want to talk about charts. But then when we talk about hit with the music, hit with the lines, hit with this, let's talk about the music. When Sheetha came out, you didn't want to, you didn't even want to talk about having the lines. Once again, if the car can go forward, it can go backwards. And then on top of it, you cannot get mad that the exact same thing, that the foundation that you set, as in coming into the game disrespecting your idol, as in coming to the game stealing their look, as in coming to the game stealing their lyrics, as in coming to the game disrespecting them, as in coming to the game trying to dethrone them, and call them irrelevant, now that that same thing is happening to you, oh, the machine this, the machine that, the machine this. Let's not forget the machine was part of you as well, too.
Angry and Educated said, lie! She congratulated Cardi on Bodak. You lying!
Yes, because let's be very clear as well, Miss Angry and Educated. Yes, she can congratulate you, but however, when she feels like you're a threat, that is when it's an issue. Because let's be very clear. Most female rappers, when Nicki has been in the game, has been either a one-hit wonder or they didn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
Bodak Yellow was like, okay, you know, I got you. Oh, okay, that's Lil Bob, da-da-da. Because they both were like, you know, tweeting each other in the beginning, Cardi and Nicki. They both were. But the thing is, once I feel like Nicki realized that Cardi was going to be around and this wasn't going to be like a one-hit wonder or even 2 or 3 hits, a little bop here and there, and started to realize that she started to come up, then that's when all the other stuff began to happen.
Okay.
Can we?
Wow.
Do y'all remember how she came at Iggy?
Who? Nicki?
Mm-hmm. Do y'all remember how she came at Iggy?
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
At the time, I think she was with Meek Mill, and she really wasn't making music like that. And Iggy just blew up off of one hit, and everybody was talking about Iggy, Iggy this, Iggy that, Iggy this. She went onto the BET Awards because good too bad they're not gonna give Iggy a BET Award. So she went onto the BET Awards and said, you know, she's like, wait, people don't write their raps and all that type of stuff. Like, why would you come at her? You get what I'm saying? Unless you see her as competition, you know. So,
that's.
But I'm sorry. But as far as with Kim, I didn't think that it was malicious at first until I saw how she did Iggy. And that's when it uncovered my eyes, because I was a big Nicki fan when she first came out. And I felt this, but Kim killed her on Black Friday. Like, Kim really did, but Kim wasn't taken seriously then. But Kim really did out-rap her on Black Friday first.
Mm-hmm. And this whole thing talking about her sales are bought. This is the thing that really y'all, because I think the thing is y'all be having this conscious.
Who sales?
I think because I'm saying that Angry and Educated. I'm assuming they're talking about Cardi because I've been looking at the chat or whatever. But here's the thing behind it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Angry and Educated. Here's the thing behind it. When we start talking about, and this is the thing I'll be talking about with Nicki, when they're talking about, oh, she did so much for the culture when it came down to them being able to stream and get paid from streams. Yes, that is 100% true. But the thing is about is that when people start to get paid or have number ones from those streams, you're quick to call out payola. Let's talk about Cardi's 5 number ones. Bodak Yellow. No one on this panel can sit up here and tell me that Bodak Yellow was not a hit, as in people weren't playing it. I Like It Like That. It's a crossover hit. WAP, the impact, because of the time that we're in about feminism, womanism.
It was controversial. It was shock jockey.
It had politics, even politicians talking about it. We had Up. We understand that it had a very catchy dance. The video was out. All these different types of things. Girls Like You, Maroon 5 is a big giant group. Like, and this is the thing that, and this is the reason why I be like, I see Nicki for her works, because you sit up there and say it's payola this, but we can explain all of Cardi's success. We can literally explain her success.
And then the crazy thing about it is, like, people don't understand. Like, people are actually waiting on Cardi. Like, Cardi is it right now. I'm sorry, she's the it girl. I'm sorry for anybody in chat who is a barb and don't understand that she is the it girl. Like, and that's point blank, period. Everybody is waiting on, nobody waiting on Nicki but the barbs, okay? The barbs and the general public is waiting on Cardi to drop.
So to Kiki's point, I want to say that I actually think that Nicki Minaj, unbeknownst to herself, actually set Cardi B up with the win, because even though, and I've said this before, even though Nicki is clearly talented, she's a gorgeous woman, she's a great writer, and she's a great rapper, and she's beautiful, and she bodies all of the contemporary elements of being a modern bad bitch woman. The big titties, the ass, the weave, the makeup, it's all gorgeous on. Like, it's gorgeous. However, she was so stuck up for the 10 years, 12 years she reigned, and she was so arrogant. And she also seemed very intangible and impersonal and almost stuck up and unwelcoming, that I think that actually set up Cardi B's entry into the industry to be a breath of fresh air, because Cardi B was interesting and fun, but she also was available, and she had a personality, and she had a sense of humor, and she was hilarious. All things that were missing from Nicki Minaj personalities. Like, Nicki came off as almost as robotic as Beyonce in a way, and even in her interviews, she had such a very serious presence. And so I think that when we got introduced to a contrast like Cardi, she was like, oh, this, especially in this age, like Cardi B had a social media personality which works for the time we're in, because now we're living in an age where we want to know who our artists are. We want to engage them. We want to have dialogue with them. Cardi B was already prepped for all of that, because she was already pretty big on Instagram before she even got on Love and Hip Hop, which is what got her on Love and Hip Hop. And then she only needed 2 seasons of that, and then from there, history was made. So I feel like if Nicki Minaj would have been more welcoming, if she would have just felt more inviting, that I don't know if Cardi would have hit the way she hit if Nicki Minaj would have like catered to all these other things that we now need from celebrities now, because there is social media. I think that it just made, when you stack Cardi B next up to Nicki Minaj, you can say Nicki is a better rapper. You can say she's a better writer. You can even, some will argue that she's even more attractive than Cardi. But Cardi B, hands down, has more of a winning personality. And in the age of social media, like, that was really her selling pitch. So to Kiki's point about people are showing up for Cardi because people like Cardi. And that's why Nicki Minaj, I felt like she couldn't see it, because for her, it's all mechanics. It's all math. Like, wait a minute. I sold this amount. I should be given this amount of attention. I should be winning these awards. I'm a technical writer. I'm skilled. I'm trained. I am technically trained. I went to gifted schools for the arts, etc. She could not, no matter how she cut the math, she's like, no, bitch, I should be winning. But we all know that the people's champ, once a bitch becomes the people's champ, it don't matter what your technical training is. When people like you, that's going to supersede you being technically the smartest person in the school. Who's more popular than the valedictorian? The most popular is. Like, so I feel like Cardi B won the popularity contest. Nicki Minaj won the talent measurements.
And so,
you want to say something, Records? Go ahead.
Because I'm like, I'm over here reading the comments. So sometimes when I be reading this, my mouth opens. But like the whole thing that be getting me too is that a lot of times when we have these type of conversations, for me and you have this conversation all the time. I can't hear dumb shit. As in being, when people say stuff and it's like hypocritical or it's not making any sense. So I'm gonna say something. I'm pretty sure you already heard it 4 or 5 times. Y'all probably gonna hear it throughout the rest of the night. If the car can go forward, then it can go backwards. Like someone has said, talking about some Cardi can't even sell out arenas, and Nicki can. But let's not forget, Nicki had to cancel her shows in the USA because of low ticket sales. And that's the thing that be like getting me, because I'm like, you say this as a dig, but Homegirl also fit that category as well too. Like, I don't know, like I think a lot of things too. I think another thing that also played a part is that Nicki was in the game for so long by herself. And yes, we had other girls come in, but it wasn't like a variety. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that was another thing that also played a part, because it was like, okay, we see this bitch everywhere, but it's like, damn, we want something new. And also keep in mind, I think the timing was right too, only because keep in mind when all of this happened, when it came down to Nicki, she was dealing with, she was trying to recover from Sheether. So typically, a lot of times when during Nicki Minaj's reign, a lot of new girls will come into the game, and you know, just like any machine, they will try to get rid of the girls or whatever. So that something will happen with Iggy, she up out of there. Something will happen with somebody else, they up out of there. Dej Low, she didn't last long, or nothing like that. But I think it happened so perfectly because while Nicki was too busy trying to recover from Sheether. And then on top of that, keep in mind that's when Wayne and Lil Bay and what's the big name? Birdman was going back and forth. So it was a lot of moving parts that was once used for Nicki to be able to stay at the top. And then Bodak Yellow came out, it gave the opportunity for Cardi to slide right through them.
And that's another thing. People talking about like all that she did, all that Nicki did for the industry. I'm going to be honest. I felt like Nicki Minaj don't give a damn about no damn industry. Nicki Minaj, everything Nicki Minaj did benefits Nicki Minaj. And if she really was on that female empowerment shit, I'm trying to figure out why does she hold this space for this long by herself and never used it to actually empower female rappers. She had the opportunity to bring in so much new talent as her being the godmother of it for a decade. I think, once again, this is another thing that people loved about Cardi. Cardi was friendly. Cardi collaborated with other female artists, the City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion. She didn't have to be, and it felt organic. It didn't feel forced or strategic like a lot of times it did when Nicki Minaj collaborated with those same girls. Like, Cardi B been on the scene a lot longer than Nicki Minaj, but has provided more of a space and been willing to share her platform and her visibility with other female rappers more so than Nicki Minaj has done. And Nicki Minaj got what, 15 plus years on fucking Cardi? Like, there's something ain't right in the buttermilk. So before we cap off to another segment of this with Kim and Nicki, what's the resolve here? Like, what do y'all say to...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nicki just need to go ahead and drop her album, keep making music. Cause she is like one of the most, this is like the most talented rapper I've ever heard. So I never take anything from her. I give her her flowers fully. But she just needs to leave all this what they call it in the music, subbing. She need to leave all these subbing alone, leave these new girls alone. Yeah. She subbing Meg, like she subbing Doja, she subbing Cardi, she was subbing the City Girls. Like, leave all this alone and just have fun with the music. But at the same time, it is hip hop, so you have to, like, you know, put your foot down as the queen and tell people, yeah, this is my arena, this is me. And I fully, like, I'm with her on that, but at the same time, you don't have to call Meg an alcoholic. You ain't gotta like talk about the new girls sucking your style. Honestly, these new girls got their own style. You ain't started that. You ain't give them another inches. They rocking hairdos, new hairdos every day.
But isn't that also a part of the delusion, Kiki? Like, how do you feel about Nicki Minaj always talking about Cardi B stealing her style of the girls when she's a carbon copy of Little, like, she even had a proper, we don't even know what her vehicle would have been into the game without the blueprint that she she hijacked Little Kim's algorithm completely in terms of style. So how is it good for the goose but not good for the gander?
You can't go forward and go backwards.
You know, like, it doesn't go, and that's what's so, like, ear jerky about some of Nicki Minaj's rhetoric is that she's such a big ass hypocrite and she's such a huge contradiction. She's clearly existing in a reality that's not necessarily aligned with the history and the reality of things. Because it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you completely swacked a whole woman's identity. I'm talking about to the point that you are the queen bee. Like, talking about like the whole Barbie thing. Like, you literally
Yes.
a woman's entire fucking identity from her, and you have the nerve to be talking about girls copying you. If they're copying you, they're really copying Kim because you're a copy of that.
Yeah, she played
It's
into her
just
whole
weird.
ethnicity. Like when Nicki first came out, you thought Nicki was foreign. You didn't think Nicki was fully black. She did not start repping black until Cardi came out.
Yeah.
She was repping Trinidad and Trinidad, wherever she from. Where's she from?
Trinidad.
Yeah,
Okay.
you thought she was Asian for a minute. Though she had some Asian in her. She wasn't repping black people like that until Cardi came out. Now you want to say, oh, black girls, you call people roaches. Oh, good, gone.
So I do want to address that comment you put up there, talking about
Which one?
What that shit at? Talking about Usher the man, something like that. Okay,
why does she have the burden of responsibility of? Well, it's not a burden, but before you even say that, I've said before, I'm surprised that females in hip hop don't naturally feel that way, because how can you exist in a space that's so small? There's so few of you, and you just not naturally feel like, bitch, of course I gotta bring my bitches on. Of course I gotta sit at the table and make sure that it's more women, more black women, more black female artists at the table, or just more female rappers in general. Like, how can you, like, we can understand why the niggas get to be selfish and not have that burden, because once again, it's 50 billion of their asses in the industry. They are the fucking industry. So we don't need more men. Men don't have to provide a space for other men because the industry is welcoming men. There's an influx and overflow of male rappers in any fucking thing. So why, so it's like, why would you not? Why would you want to hold the spot for so long and not use that also, not only to your betterment, but to the actual betterment of overall female rap? What's in the best interest? And I accept that from all of them. The reason why she gets critiqued this way is because we see Cardi B putting other bitches on. We see Little Kim and Missy and Da Brat. There was camaraderies in the past. Yeah, there were isolated beefs. There was a Foxy and Kim moment. There was, all of that shit going on. But we also saw lots of team spirit. That's why when we reference old female hip hop, we not like, there were beefs, but you don't think of beefs at that time because there was much more community going on between female hip hop than there was anything else. Now it's just strictly like one tiara for one queen and one queen fucking only. Why wasn't Dej Loaf? I love some fucking Dej Loaf. I live for her. That's one of my go-to female rappers. Live for her. So unique. Such a tomboy, but such a girl. Like, I live for Dej Loaf. I want to see. She's like a softer version of the Brat for me. Not in terms of like rap style, but just that androgynous energy to me. And we just need that. So, but you were going to answer to that too, Reckless. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, well, you kind of already answered it. I'm over here reading comments and stuff. I'm
okay.
over here just doing.
Before we cap off on this, who would win in a versus battle between Kim and Nicki? Starting with you, Reckless. Who's the winner?
Kim.
Who's the winner, Lady T?
I have to, because I wouldn't even have them in a verses together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't think that's a contemporary. I feel like verses is for people's contemporaries. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be.
So she said she won a versus battle with Nicki.
I think she needs to. Oh God, why can't she just make some beans? Like, I just want her to.
I did.
Like, stop fighting this hard. I would. I'm gonna enjoy Kim's music, but honestly, it would be. I'm not saying that. I'm just gonna mind my business.
You already said it. You already said it's gonna be.
Get that pot of beans together, Kim.
We have to talk about this. This is gonna be interesting.
A refuse to lose. Who's coming out on top versus battle? Kim. Period. Okay. And Kiki, who's coming out on top? Kim or Miss Minaj. And you on mute, boo, if you can hear me, Kiki.
Oh, I'm sorry. To be honest with y'all, if Nikki do her features, it's gonna be Nikki.
Ooh, yeah.
Y'all think so? No, but
No.
Kim got some heat on her now. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's
know.
so weird.
I can explain it. Yeah. Okay, so with the verses for the culture. I'm sorry, white people, you're not part of this. Verses for the culture. And so what we're thinking about rap. So, and keep in mind too, don't even have hits for the verses. Y'all don't know. As you're right, she doesn't have hits. She has classics. Like Kim has a lot of classics, stuff that has moved the culture for female hip hop. So if you think, and I want y'all to think about this way, if you think that if Kim play All About the Benjamins and Nicki Minaj come out with Super Bass, who the hell you think will win that? If you think if Kim sit up here and she pulls out freaking Notorious B.I.G. and put that verse on there, and Nicki Minaj pull out some type of pop thing, like that's the thing.
Like the homie. Get your friends.
Yeah, like the whole thing about it is that Kim song's gonna be hard to beat because we're talking about rap and the impact of it. And okay, question. Okay, so with Nicki Minaj songs, name a legendary song besides Roman's Revenge.
Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap.
If that's what she working with, baby, it ain't gonna end well for Nikki.
Thank you. I needed that. I needed my reality check. I think I had these. I think I was delusional. Okay, these people had me thinking that these young people was doing something, but I forgot. I appreciate you for reminding me, because even if you could talk about Nikki, doing her features, but if we are bringing in features, then it's definitely a rap. Because if y'all gotta understand, features, Kim has better features. Period.
The monster verse, though. The monster verse.
The monster verse compared to what?
To any feature, for real.
Any feature from Little Kim?
Quiet Storm?
Yeah. Okay, I don't know, y'all.
Quiet Storm.
Every time.
Ladies'
All About
Night.
the Benjamins.
Eve. What did she do with Eve? It would go on and on and on. Just her features.
Welcome to Brooklyn.
Oh, you don't know Kim.
Somebody said Bubba's for life.
But also keep in mind too, like, yes, we understand Nikki may have the bigger catalog, but in order for Kim to win, all she needs is 11, and she got more than 11. So
I'm gonna say, at first I was thinking about, like, I think some people's go-to is going to be Nikki because she's just currently relevant, so that's the easy choice. But when I think about, like, what made the Brandy and Monica versus battle so iconic, it was the nostalgia, and Little Kim is going to have that on her side. She is right in between the millennials, and we're right in between the new world and the old world. And I think that when a Little Kim song comes in next to this new age shit, Nicki Minaj might have the relevant spot, but Little Kim has, like, it's the feels, like it's the whole 90s comes rushing back, like it's the whole vibe and energy and nostalgia of that of the last of our culture. Because I was saying the other day, we don't have culture no more. We just have the internet. We don't have culture though. We still had culture when Kim was around and when she was in her prime. So I feel like, yes, she has battles on the fields. What you say?
If they did verses and Kim dropped Magic Stick, what would Nikki drop? I'm waiting.
That song with Beyonce. What's that song with Beyonce?
She would drop Freaky Girl with Gucci Mane.
All I know is if I'm
But
Little
that's a
Kim, I'm coming
picture,
out with
though.
Lady Marmalade. Period. Now fight
Yes,
me.
You
yes.
know what I'm talking about? See, you can't talk that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like that shit was history in the making. Like somebody
I
said,
hope
no.
they
What
do
about
these verses,
so
though.
if they did I think Go Off and Problem, I think they would team up. No?
Who?
Because I'm going off of like some of Little Kim's newest. Go Off and then
No,
I
Problem.
can't do her new shit. If
Kim better not bring down
she
that
yeah,
new
she need to
shit
keep all the new
up
shit
to that
from the
verses.
verses, baby. Like that's
We
I
how
don't
talking
even
Nikki
about
want
gonna
her to
get
bring her
her ass on
gently
that new
used
shit.
yeah,
shit out.
exactly.
Okay.
Do not bring
Let
down that
alone,
new
I don't
shit.
want no gently used. I don't want no new. She just gotta go completely
Oh, Kim.
old
Yeah.
school.
Because
All
I
right,
got a
so
list.
we gonna
Yeah.
do
No,
how
but
many licks would it
come on.
how many licks would it take?
Yes, ma'am. That was
Okay.
actually the song that made me fall in love with Kim.
Yeah.
How many licks? I was like, oh,
That
who is this
whole album is
Yeah,
just
that was
iconic.
everything, yeah.
Iconic. It's just fucking iconic. The samples were
No,
amazing. But we gotta move
the
along.
song when she come. Oh, the song when she coming down the
girl?
elevator. What is that one? When she coming down the elevator, her first song with P
In
Diddy
the
in the
World Trade
video.
Center.
Yeah, what is that? I
I got no time for fake.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sip
my
the
shit.
champagne and the French fry. Yes.
And the whole thing about it too, and not only are her songs just classics or the times, it's also the beat. Like the whole thing
That
behind
beat
it, like
was everything.
if you like if you was to hear Get Money before anybody say something, that's automatically a
Yes.
vibe. So
If
like
Biggie
it's
was
stuff
here,
like
if
that
Biggie
too.
was here, Kim would be. I think Kim still would be in the game. I think she still would be heavy in the game.
Yeah,
If
because
Yeah, because Biggie would have kept her on her motherfucking toes.
yes, he would have.
Yeah, I believe it. So I want to also, so let's segue really quick. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Little Kim's, the way that her current style, makeup choices, and her cosmetic surgery impacts her career.
I think she was pretty before. I think for whatever reason she thinks she needed to do stuff to. I don't know. I can't say fit in because people just they were mostly slim girls. When you look at the Foxy Browns and they didn't have butts and stuff all over the place. So for her to have did that to her body, was it to stand out?
I think it was to keep up with the times.
They
And this
didn't
is
have
even,
that
and she
though.
was already messing up in this picture you got of her right here. She already did too much.
I'm talking about her body. I'm not talking about her face. Like, yeah, she
Yeah,
did too
that's
much.
what I'm
Her
saying. Her
face
body
had
and
all
stuff.
these.
Well, okay, so I was gonna say with the whole thing about Kim's surgery, I think I hopefully I can see the video again and actually make sure. But I could have sworn in one of her interviews she says she's actually doing stuff to like take some of the stuff out
Yeah,
and stuff.
she did. It was in an
But
interview.
Yeah,
yes,
she said she wanted to do. Yeah,
but for me, it's a lot of things that's which is another reason why I sympathize with Kim when it comes down to her surgeries. It's a lot of different factors that played a part in that. Let's keep in mind that the colorism that was going on within the game. And also keep in mind too, just because you have all this life, all this glamour, and you may be a celebrity, and you may appear to be that bitch, that still doesn't mean
still
that you
not
don't have
confident.
insecurities. Because let's also keep in mind, in addition to the colorism, she also had to deal with Faith Evans, who Biggie was already married to. Well,
Yeah, all the Biggie girls were like
I believe Kim. I believe Kim was with him first, but he married Faith. So also with that, and also keep in mind the physical abuse when she got her nose broken, and so she had to get that done. I think multiple times. I don't know how many times, but and then on top of that, it's like I don't know. It was just a whole bunch of things that kind of piled up. So I think it was just all of those things.
I think it was somewhat too to me, but I noticed back when it seemed like the light skinned girls got more video play. Like we're in more videos, and then in the end, it seems like everybody after her that Biggie dealt with was light skinned girls.
Yeah. Faith Evans, and she also spoke a lot about how like she was called dark and ugly, black and ugly
Yeah.
life and growing up and things, and she always admired white women's beauty, etc. She did have a light skin complex. And then I think when the love of her life chose the ultimate light bright of all women, Faith Evans, for God's sake, probably something that definitely furthered whatever body dysmorphia and internalized colorism, anti-blackness that already existed in her, just triggered her up all over again. I also want to say this to celebrities. I know celebrities get criticized a lot for their surgeries, but I think we have to keep in mind that these are some of the most photographed people in the world. And when you have to see images of yourself constantly, I'm sure that it will make anybody want to perfect themselves so that whenever you're shot, because you're not like, unlike us regular folk, we take our own selfies and we take them at the perfect angles, at the perfect lighting. We're completely, creatively in control. When you're a celebrity, you're not the only person that has that creative right over you. The paparazzi does, fans are running up, cameras are always on, people filming you coming in and out of businesses, out of your fucking house. So if you had to see images of yourself all the time, most, especially women, because women are more impacted by the beauty standards than men are. Men just get to be men in this patriarchy. Women internalize all things around beauty and aesthetic and attractiveness far more than men do under this system. So I do empathize with all of those issues, and this is what begs, and this is why I think this is interesting, because the only way for Little Kim's career not to have suffered as a result of cosmetic surgery would have, the only way for her not to have been impacted is if we would have to literally destroy beauty standards altogether in order for her not to suffer. And in order for her psyche and her career to not suffer. So it doesn't help.
Saying before or after the surgeries?
Well, in terms of her career, like, definitely. I mean, in terms of avoiding the problem altogether, obviously destroying colorism and white supremacy and beauty standards of the West altogether for Black women would free a lot of people who don't even know that they're being victimized by this conditioning and this indoctrination. You know, and I think it's terrible that Little Kim had to suffer, that her career had to suffer as a result of whatever she is going through mentally and emotionally. Her surgeries. Now, I have seen footage of Kim barefaced. The surgery actually looks perfect without makeup. It's something about the way the cameras and the makeup itself just does not. It doesn't accentuate. It actually takes away from the makeup. I think she looks better the more natural she goes in her face, because I've seen her literally just out of bed, and not this Kim. I'm going to be honest. This Kim, because there's been levels to her surgery. This level of surgery on Kim, it looks awkward even barefaced, but there was a point in time, like maybe a little bit after Jump Off, maybe the Naked Truth era, where that surgery without the makeup, she looks fucking stunning. Like, she looked stunning. But it just does not work like the makeup choices does not. Because you can't do something that dramatic to your face and then dramatize your makeup and your lashes. And because even look at this wig. Whoever is styling her, why would you put a wig that fucking thick on her head? What is this coming out of her fucking? These aren't even edges. Like, she literally has grown woman hair in place of baby hair. Just like it looks like a fucking nest on her head. Like it like somebody would have to understand her face and what it gives in order to really, like, at this point, Kim's face would be a work of art, and you need an artist who understands the art form of her face to build around it appropriately.
I'm confused. I am stunned because I just went over to the other, like while you was talking, I went to the tab to go see what you was talking about. I put in Little Kim no makeup. And the images I'm seeing, I'm like, why is she making these people, like why is she having them put on her makeup like this?
Let me pull it up too.
I am dumbfounded. I don't understand. It is baffling me.
Yeah. Let me
because I also think it's also one of the things as well too, where to other people they're like, you like, you're fine, you look beautiful, but to them, they see something. It's I want to say it's kind of like having my body dysmorphia when everybody like, oh my god, you look stunning, but to you look fat or you look extra, like are you like something to you looks wrong. So I don't know what it is, but I will say to Conscious point is that she needs to follow the times as well when it comes to her makeup. And also when you follow the times, also know what works for you and what don't work for you. And as in your makeup should not be hard. Like, and I don't, this is no shade to nobody on the panel. If this is one of y'all, I come with love. But it's like one of the things where you see people in public and they have like that out, like the lip liner, and it's like real thick and stuff like that. And I'll be like, you probably should have something else because times have a little bit changed. But however, if that's your style, that's your style.
Like
so it's like one of the things, like yeah, like we kind of will move past that. I think probably should try to slowly transition. You get what I'm saying, or just mesh, it all together. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a big makeup person, so a lot of times, like even when I'm going out and stuff, a lot of my friends would say, "Well, you need to at least put on a little bit of that, or a little bit of that." And I'm saying, well, you like what you like, but I'm confident as I am.
I love this one.
And
oh shit!
So am I wrong?
Actually, I'm gonna send it to you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. See, no, you're not wrong at all. Or refuse. I just brought up like a no makeup Kim. Now, this picture might still look a little harsh to people, but that's only because the wig is ridiculous. It's like it's too thick, it's too bulky, and it's put too far down on her fucking head. But the face, her face is like her face is sitting naturally, like no makeup, no nothing.
I love it.
Yes, like if I was her makeup artist, I would go with a small lash on her, and all of her makeup would be very like natural, dewy makeup, not like over the top glam. Because if you put glam on top of this, like put over the top glam on this, it's going to look very bad. But you got it natural. Right, the more natural she goes on her makeup, the more her surgery will. Her foundation, her surgery is supposed to accentuate the makeup. Like she doesn't. They're almost putting makeup on her as if, like the makeup. So this is what's happening. Her surgeries. I'm gonna pull up everything. They did her surgery in a way that produces what makeup creates the illusion for. High cheekbone, small nose. So then why contour what's already a surgical nose? It's already been medically contoured. So don't add a fucking harsh contour to what's already been surgically contoured. Her cheekbones, she's already had implants. You don't have to accentuate her cheekbones because they medically carved out her fucking cheekbones. So now the makeup needs to just be more simple. More simple, more natural, because the surgery is already giving. So so where did you get that image from, Reckless? Off her Instagram?
No. I just got it off off Google.
Send it to my Instagram. I don't know, like
I got you.
I think when it comes to the when it comes to the makeup part, she's in a stage where it's like, well, this is how the world receives me. So if I was to stop or tone it, then they're not gonna see me the same. A lot of times they go off of what people think or feel versus how they feel. I don't think that Kim is, I wouldn't say that she's unconfident. I would say that she made some decisions that she thought was beneficial to her career. And then when the biggest part of her career left, which was Biggie, people didn't care what she looked like, how cute she was. What, you know what I mean? He was that door.
Yes. Yes. And that's what I'm saying, you guys. The surgery is the makeup. So now the makeup needs to be greatly reduced for the surgery to make sense. So
or someone that knows her face and knows how
It
to
looks
do it.
better
Because
on her now that she got older. It looks better now that she's an older woman.
and plus, I was gonna say, for me personally, I kind of like when she has just a tad bit of weight, not too much, but not like, like nothing like that, because it makes the surgery look more natural looking as well.
Right, because she's starting to stretch out now.
I'm gonna tell y'all when the surgery was at its top tier for me. When like the jump off Little Kim was just that shit, like I mean the jump off video, this was the height of her glam with the the post surgery Kim with the surgery. This one I appreciated it the most. I thought she was gorgeous in the jump off video, but we all know that mental illness does not work that way. It's not about what the public perceives, it's about what you see in your mind's eye. Yeah, and if you don't, and then you got trauma and all of these things underlining body dysmorphia, it's just a lot. So my question is, do y'all think Kim has honest people around her? Like, why do y'all think nobody has said, Kim, girl, this ain't about surgery. It's not your face that needs it. Your soul needs the healing, boo. You need to go talk to somebody about your brokenness. This ain't about
I think maybe back when her immediate family, but then, you know, they could say whatever they want to her. But if she feels like mentally like this is what I need to do to stay relevant or to fit in or to allow these people to continue to accept me, then I have to do what it is I feel like, you know, gonna keep me in my spot. I'm pretty sure. I feel like maybe her mom or somebody definitely said something.
I think she has honest people around her, but however, the thing is that I feel like when she was like in her prime or whatever, you know, you have snakes, you have people that's gonna use you, got people that's different, that may have a different type of motive to be around you, or you know, they may not have your best interests at heart. So I believe it's different types of factors, but I do believe she does have honest people. I just think that she either needs to start taking their advice, or I don't know what the fuck.
Because even if you look at it, even with now with today's world, do y'all think that Cardi B needed all that surgery that she's had?
I don't think that any.
They all look absolutely crazy. Unless you're getting your
That's
teeth
what I'm
fixed,
saying.
what are you doing? I appreciate what everybody's saying and everything, and that was the height of her career. I get it, I respect it. But when I seen the jump off, I said, "What the fuck did she do to her chin? And why does her nose look like that?"
They went
She
too
looks
far for her chin.
crazy. That's just my thought. I don't know how you get surgery and now you look a certain way, but that's not how you look. So people still feel what they feel about you, and you don't look like yourself. So
That's
how is this
definitely not an
resolving the
African American
problem?
chin.
But this is my thing. But look at this picture. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Why would you not have her wig thinned out? Why nobody's edges, like nobody's hair is going that thick from the fucking edge. Like it's clearly a wig. It's too thick. It's not even like made realistically. And then look at the contour. I'm saying, look at the contour. You don't need to contour an already contoured nose. You don't need to contour. Look at how strong the cheek is.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
That was not her original face on the jump off. What are y'all talking about? She had several surgeries.
No, I was saying that this was the best. The surgery look to me was jump off.
No, I know I know what you're saying. They're saying that was her original face in the jump off.
Oh no, baby, that was not.
No.
She had already done a nose job. She had already probably did a chin. Had shaved her chin.
Her eyes.
Yeah, her eyes, eyebrow lift. It was already starting. the
But she
fillers,
said,
etc.
she said in an interview, she said, she said it becomes addictive, when you start one and then you got all this money and nothing to do
Absolutely.
with it. And she had all these excuses as to why she spent her money that way.
But you know why? It's because most of us suffer from idealism. We have an ideal version of how we see ourselves. So imagine if you have the resources and the money to start carving out your perfect version of yourself. Of course, you're going to, you're going to start editing everything that you feel needs to be fucking edited in order to arrive at that place. Because most of us suffer from idealism. Like, that's why we lose weight. We want to get in the gym. We want a smaller stomach. We want muscles. We want abs. We want a rounder ass. We want whatever
a BBL,
a BBL or whatever it is. Like, we all have it, and these artists are in positions financially to actually indulge in their idealism, and it works for some, like Beyonce, who has had like subtle surgeries done. And then even in extreme cases, like let's say a Kylie Jenner, I think her surgery worked for her. I think it's given what needs to be given if it's gonna give anything.
No one to stop.
But I think more at this point, Kim could still get away with how she's constructed her face if she just switch up her hairstylist and her makeup artist. I think that would make a dramatic difference.
I think so too.
It should be salvaged.
Yes, because I think what she needs as well. She doesn't need. Yes, you need somebody that's of course experienced and an expertise in their field, but at the same time, you're gonna need somebody that's also modern as well. So I think another and that goes to my point I was saying earlier, is that sometimes I feel like she be kind of stuck in a time machine at times, and I'm like, Kim, that part was good back in the day, but them eyebrows are too dark. You need to lighten the bad boys up.
Somebody said that they thought Beyonce was all natural. Lips on.
A lot of these women ain't natural.
Clearly, Beyonce has had definitely a nose job.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Damn, her top lip looks smaller in that first picture too.
It is. Yeah. She got fillers in her lip. She got a nose job. Obviously, she had her Negro nose to the left, and then she got her white woman nose to the right.
And she got contacts.
Yeah, she probably has sculpted. She probably has had some lipo underneath her chin, etc.
Yeah, it was lifted. Her chin was lifted.
Yeah. She might have had had a face.
Her cheekbones was dropped too.
Yeah, but she might have had some lipo in the face. You can have a lipo surgery in your face as well and get the fat.
What make her face not so much pie face? Like, not that she had a pie face, but I'm saying, what does the lipo do?
Yeah, the lipo, it suctions out the fat and gives you a more sculpted, symmetrical look. It highlights the bone structure.
Looked like something was done under her neck too.
Yeah, she probably had some lipo up underneath there as well.
Man,
and
it's real out. It's real out here.
Yeah.
And look like she most people trying to get lighter. She tried to get dark.
You got dark. That's what I'm saying. I was
like now I will say we gotta keep in mind
people.
We gotta keep in mind that these are pictures and lighting makes a difference. Because I look super light skinned on some of my pictures and I look super melanated on other pictures. So, everybody kind of looks all over.
Even with me, I noticed like in the summer or like this season, I do get a tad lighter than I am in the winter and stuff like that. So our skin do change.
Yeah.
And I think you get a little bit light. I've noticed that people get a little bit, and I'm not talking about people who bleach, just get a little bit lighter as they get older.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got darker as I got older.
Something changes to some degree. Something changes.
My melanin deepened.
My
as we
weight.
got old. So what do y'all
And,
think?
and,
Uh-huh.
and damn, can't get
I
that.
mean,
Hold up,
she was
one.
always beautiful. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I see
And
the
also,
difference.
I think they just don't know what to do with their money.
and also I was gonna say too, the whole thing about it too is it also depends on how much you be in the sun as well too. Cause baby, my first
Mm-hmm.
the job before I had before this, baby, I was like looking a little bit lighter. Now I took a picture of myself. I was like, dang, like the complexion was completely different because I'm more in the sun now compared to
Mm-hmm.
being in the building all day. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does
So
make a difference.
how do y'all think that? I mean, what what? How do we keep another woman from suffering in the way that Little Kim has in the industry? Like, what do y'all think needs to happen?
I think she needs to do a lot of inside work. I think she has to come in tune with, who she is. You know what I mean? Like you could be whatever color you want to be. How do you feel about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Like now, even with her having a child and when her daughter look back, she's gonna be like, "Who the hell?"
Right. Like that's my question. Like when people have children and they did all these surgeries and they don't look like themselves and the kids look
That's
like
crazy.
their parent.
You have to explain what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same sentence, when your child's saying, "Well, I would like to have this," and you telling them, "No, I don't want you to," but look at you.
Mm-hmm.
It could kindly pass on, a form of the child feeling unconfident if she really have an understanding.
Look at this picture. This
She could look at it like that. My mom didn't like her. You know what I mean? The kid could look at it different.
Mm-hmm. I feel sorry for Kim having came up in the era before people were contouring and stuff like that because I think she might
Hmm.
have been able to achieve some of the looks that she was looking to do.
A better job.
Yeah, with the makeup that they
Yeah.
have nowadays,
Oh man, yes.
because you know that wasn't the makeup back then. Like it wasn't
Hmm.
all these different techniques to contouring your nose and your cheeks and all that other type of stuff and
And not matching your color with your color and
right
all
and
that.
bronzes and
Mm.
low lights, highlights, and lace fronts and all that other stuff.
I think Kim was doing lace fronts before we even knew what they were.
I don't know what Kim was doing. I done seen some old pics and I was like, okay.
Yeah, she's the man. I just thought she dressed really dope. That's what I liked about her too.
Mhm. Mhm.
I always thought no matter where she went and performed, when she came out, nobody was having nothing on, even close, and I like that
Mhm.
about her.
What is going on? Hold on.
I I think she just started hanging with too many YT people.
But now with her being married and stuff, I think she's feeling like she wants to tone things down. Some she wants to get rid of some of the bud and get rid of some of that and some of the. But you could get rid of that.
I'm
But
sick,
now,
man.
are you going to have medical issues behind that?
I think she's coming to terms of that whole thing of okay, this needs to go da 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 da. What was I thinking? Because the same thing happened with K Michelle. When K Michelle got all that surgery, and then now she's like, I don't know why I did that, but da da da. And then now she's undoing a lot of the surgery that ultimately almost took her life. So
Yeah.
I just think it's just the process because shit, like we keep saying all the time, it's the colorism because of the industry, and plus, especially since yes, you are a female rapper, so you do have to go by beauty standards, and if you don't, your career may not be as big or as
Hmm.
as as much as you want it to be. Then on top of that, yes, you may be that girl, but however, you got men cheating on you with a woman that you already probably deemed because of colorism, the complexion, and probably the body type that you want. And then on top of that, you have a man breaking your face. Then you have to get surgeries. It's just a lot of different other things. So,
And then
um, mhm.
when she started out, she was a baby. So I kind of look
Mhm.
at it as if she was molded into a lot of this stuff. It's to, this is what they want. This what you got to do. This is what they want. This is what was molded into her, that this is what it has to be, or you just not
Mhm.
it.
Let me ask
Yep.
y'all this question: do y'all think that it's just see? This is another. It's like, why would you do her eyebrows and her wig like this? Like she looks like a feline
It looked
out of
like the wig is too heavy.
the wig is wigging.
I'm
The
done.
wig is literally wigging.
Yes, that
Like
part is
I don't
it.
like that on her. I think the
it's
color
thick.
is nice, but the style isn't.
I don't. I somebody don't love Kim. Like this, I don't know who's in control of her team. I don't know what it is, but let
Mhm.
me ask y'all this question:
That
to
middle
what
one is cute.
to what Reckless was saying, is it just a matter of people getting therapy and counseling, or is it also a matter of like society needs to change? Like, do y'all think
That too.
that society needs because when we think so let's think about like how a lot of young girls are suffering from body dysmorphia now, despite them being
Hmm.
raised in homes where their parents are clearly telling them that they're beautiful. Their immediate family is affirming their beauty, but it's not sitting because the rest of society is upholding something else that's
Hmm.
contrary to what's being taught at home as the standard. So can can individual self-esteem be enough in a culture that's like bombarding us with something very opposite of these holistic
I think it
narratives?
still boils down to how you feel about yourself. Because people could say things to make you feel a certain way, but if you really stand on who you are, like I'm gonna use me and I'm gonna be honest. I have 7 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
They grown. They all from a marriage, right? Except my last one, she's 16, right? So I started having kids young, so I was able to still maintain a 7, 8, 9, 10. It wasn't until I got older I did started gaining my getting this butt and all, and I was still happy with myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now also I suffer with a disease called grave disease, which is also the disease that Missy Elliott suffer with.
Yes.
So I'm heavy on exercise. I have a personal trainer and those kind of things. And people say to me, you're fine, you're this and that. But I'm telling you, I'm doing this for my health. It has nothing to do with I'm a very confident woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I have high blood pressure, and I know I have a thyroid problem, and I know I have asthma. All of those are immune disorders. So why would I be confident to walk around and can't breathe? That don't make sense.
Right.
But into a man's eyes who's looking at the butt and the titties, I'm good to him. But for me, I'm not good because I fucking can't breathe. What is the problem? You know what I'm saying? So it depends on you knowing what's best for you versus what you think you're gonna be accepted for.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I feel. That's a
See,
different example, but
All
go ahead,
oh,
Reckless.
okay, because for me, I be having a little bit of a lag, so I'll be trying not to cut people off. Okay, so for me, I will say it's gonna have to be society as well because once again, my famous line, the car can go forward, it can go backwards, because yes, there is a part or a section where yes, bring natural bodies back, bring natural bodies, da da da. But then when women are out here with natural bodies, like Steph Curry's wife, Steph Curry's wife, we drag them for it. We disrespect them for it. Like when there's women out there that don't dress in a more explicit or sexual way, we say, "Oh, she boring, she this, she that." So I think
yeah, I get judged
it's a
doing that a lot. So I
yeah.
gotta
So
agree.
it's a whole type of thing. And keep in mind too, I know a lot of times people say, "Yo, the industry this, the industry that," but keep in mind too, the industry do things that they know the public is going to love and consume.
Yeah.
So if the industry messed up, that lets you know what we consume at the end of the day. And which is another thing, another reason why when people talk about we need more conscious rappers, da da da. But however, if we supported more conscious rappers and stopped supporting the little Kims, the Foxies, the more sexual, more explicit rappers, then guess what? They will push and put machines behind more conscious rappers.
I agree.
So
Mm-mm.
that's it.
Wow. Yeah. He's just. Are we? It sounds like we're going. Mm. Do y'all think that other labels ought to have a role to play in this? Like they clearly see what some of the stuff does to their artists, and it seems like they are not. They take no proactive role in providing some alternatives, or even maybe making some healthier suggestions to. Like I even like saw recently like a mulatto, the rapper a mulatto. She was going on a tangent, like showing all these damn videos and pictures of her ass because apparently it was captured at a weird angle that made it look like it was pointed from the side, like a triangle. And she was, showing that no bitch, my ass is as round as a full moon. And she put together like this copulation, and I hate it for women. I just hate it. Like I like obviously beauty and aesthetics can be creative. But
Let me ask that. I want to ask the young lady something that's here. So I some years ago I had dreadlocks and they were like down my back, right? And I did the lace fronts, I did all that stuff, and then I cut my dreads off. I did the wigs, I did all of that, and now I'm back at my dreads. I found that it's a different life natural for me. I feel like I get a different kind of attention. I feel like um I feel like I'm treated differently. Not in a bad way. Not that either way is bad, but I feel like I get a different kind of vibe from far as guys or whatever like that. Why?
I'll say this much. I've had my entire life I might have had a perm maybe, and this is broken up, maybe 2 years, and that's broken up. Like my entire life, most of the time I've been natural,
Mhm.
It's been like little spurts here and there that I might have had a perm.
Right.
So we're talking about back in the day, no natural hair care out, no shea moisture, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking
Yep.
about way back in the day, and I'm talking about being 19, 20, young girl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And having experienced the way that society acts in regards to natural hair, the way men act in regards to natural hair,
Mhm.
the way that the assumptions, like people think that they don't have assumptions. People think that it's changed a lot. The fact that I can have the same kind of conversation that I had when I was like
Yeah, that's the part.
when I was one of the only people who had
Yep.
natural hair at one point, and then I'm talking to people and I'm watching these natural hair videos and I'm like, this is really sad because these are like newly natural people, and I'm glad that it's this movement or whatever. But now it's not even like back in the day when it was the 70s when people were rocking their froze. Now it's this whole curl, your curl pattern, your curl pattern, your curl
Yeah.
pattern. People are not free to just kind of
Be
wear,
themselves or
be themselves. And then sometimes like if I'm in my growth spurt with the hair, right?
mhm.
And it's under a wig or under a ponytail or whatever. If I'm in the growing phase, it's just like that's when I get to see where people really stand. Because I literally have had people who let me walk past one day, approach me the next with
Mhm.
the faux hair, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like it really, I mean,
It is crazy.
it's
Women do got it crazy. It's crazy.
insane,
It is. It is.
insane.
mm,
We got, so as far as society goes, because I've seen society in so many different ways, I have no faith in society. I say you have to do it within. It has to be your immediate circle and within. I would not be expecting anything from this society.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, but it could be.
I have a finer hair texture and I'm all natural. I haven't had a perm in like 10 years. I'm not going to say I have good hair because all hair is good hair, but I have a finer hair texture. And when I walk into work, because I wear my natural, most of the time my hair is either in natural or braids. I don't like weaves because weaves take away your edges. I don't like frontals because you can see people laces 2 days after they get it done, and I'm not going to walk around with my lace showing. And it's like, they come to me and they're like, Kiki, when you gonna get your hair done? When you gonna get your hair done? And I'm like, my hair is done. Do you see this? Do you see these waves? Do you see these waves riding? They are done. My hair is done. Okay, well.
If you tell them, no, when are you going to get your hair done? Your hair.
Exactly. So it's like you have to embrace, like the other lady said, you have to embrace yourself. You have to, hold yourself up to a higher standard. And know that, God made you this way. He made your hair to go up with the sun.
That's how I feel. No, I was just curious as to anybody else notice the different responses in people when your hair is natural or versus if you're wearing something.
Yes, they think you broke, like you can't get your hair did. Baby, my bank account pretty, and the savings account looking even prettier. So don't play with me. I just don't like all that weave in my hair. It takes away from your edges. Baby, your forehead, you got a 5 head.
Edges matter.
And I think it takes away, especially when you covering your forehead all the time. I think it takes away from the beauty of a woman, like to or have your eyes covered and stuff like that. Like, who are you?
So you didn't like Aaliyah giving her 1 in a million? She inspires my swoop.
Well, that's different because she has basically, I guess she has people that she's looking to buy her brand per se, or what she's selling. You know what I mean?
Well, it seemed like that was her style.
But when you like an everyday person and you going out here and you the only one without this wig or whatever's going on, you looked at differently.
What is the response that y'all receive? Well, before I ask that question,
I already know where you're going. When I used to have the perms and all of that, I used to get the AOs and all of that kind of stuff. But with my dreads, both times I get, hey Queen, how you doing?
What do you get with your natural hair? Just free what is it called? Free formed, like free, not locked and not locked and not permed, like just free flowing.
Just like
with my regular, I get
like a blown out look.
I wouldn't know how she wore it if she's wearing it curly or what, because
with my regular hair, I was a ponytail person, even as an older person. I always wore my ponytail with my natural bun up top, or sometimes I would do it in a fan look, and so that was cool.
But what would people's response be?
They thought
I think that's when you go invisible.
Well, I'm gonna say what my mother's response was. You are too old to be wearing that ponytail. So I guess I look more younger with the ponytail thing.
So my question to you guys is, obviously, there's a lot more oasis of hope for women who are natural, since there is there's a sensationalism around the natural hair movement, African beauty, etc. So I think there's a lot more affirmation for Black women to combat anti-Blackness and colorism because of these movements. What is the response y'all get from men as women who are more on the natural hair, kind of no makeup front?
Well, damn, we ain't saying nothing about not wearing no makeup.
Okay, well, I don't know how natural y'all don't got.
I do eyeliner. I actually have my own lip gloss line, so I'm more of a lip gloss versus lipstick. And I don't do the eyelashes. at all.
I gotta have my lashes on, y'all. They give me me. I look like a bird without my lashes.
Well, my 16-year-old, she's into the lashes. And she's trying to let me do it. You'll like it if I do it. And I'm like, girl.
I
So what
love it. I love it, but I used to have my own damn lashes. Like I really like. I gotta see if I can find some pictures. But I really used to have a nice, like some nice lashes. And then I went to I don't know what I mean to the point where people would ask me if they were fake, and I've had a couple like my homeboy went up underneath my eye to see like if I was playing like yeah right whatever he was whatever let me see girl and I was like and it went up under my eye. But then I went and I got faux lashes or the fake lashes, and it started taking out little by little by little.
Yeah.
And now I look like a chicken, or like a boy, like something like a literal chicken, not like chicken head, like Purdue. If I don't have no lashes on, but right now I'm at the phase where I'm just like, okay, well that's what it's gonna have to be, because I have to grow them back. I can't keep getting them done because then I'll never be able to not have them, and them shits hurt when you go to sleep and all types of no man.
Well,
But the
I have
magnetic ones are good because they don't now refuse. I don't know about the individuals, but if you get the magnetic ones, like a good set of magnetic ones, they don't pull your lashes out of anything.
My daughter has she has the individuals. She's 16 and she's into lashes, but
don't listen to no 16.
she has the individuals. They really short. I mean, they're not all crazy, but I don't know. We'll see if it pulls her stuff out. That's it. But I don't know. She hasn't had any bad experience with the glue ones or the individuals.
Well, I don't want to get too far from the topic, and I also have to go to bed very soon to get my
Me
ass
too.
up.
Church in the morning.
So obviously, we all believe that colorism has played a role in Little Kim's trauma and her surgery, and she's also articulated some abuse and everything else that she's gone through. So I know that Reckless said, me and Reckless said both society and self, but y'all are saying, I mean, self, like y'all don't think that society needs to do better too?
I mean, I think in all, both could play a role, and like I said, for me, it depends on how you receive whatever people say, about how you look or what you're doing, and for the most part, I just feel like you have to be in tune with yourself. A lot of times, people want to believe that they have to look like Keisha or Felicia and not look like themselves.
So I still don't understand, like how. I mean, cause like. So what is y'all psychology? Like y'all are women who are wearing your natural hair. So what are you telling yourself when you are seeing Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Little Kim, when you're flipping through Instagram and you see the Insta models, you see the wigs, the weave, you see all of this constantly. How, like, what are you telling yourself that allows you to walk away every time with yourself still intact?
It works for them. It works for them.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's not me. But I am a color person. Don't get me wrong.
I've
I'm
seen
a color
Megan Thee
person.
Stallion's natural hair. Most of those girls have a ton of natural hair underneath those wigs. And that's one thing that I'm aware of, that they have a ton of natural hair underneath those wigs.
Kim has long hair. Oh,
Cardi B hair is off the hook. Cardi B
Little Kim has long natural hair. Megan Thee Stallion has long natural hair. Cardi B has hair.
Nicki
Minaj have hair. They all have natural hair underneath those wigs, and that's part of the reason why they wear. I mean, it's so that they don't
damage
to their
it's
their own hair. And I there's plenty of times where I use protective styling as well. So but I don't look to them. With all due respect, the whole world looks absolutely crazy to me. I do not think that I'm an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't need to tell myself shit. I'll be sitting there saying, when somebody gonna tell? When are they gonna tell themselves something? Like, I'm not the problem. When are they gonna get what I know? When are they gonna understand what I understand? When like, damn, they're
I
really
believe that.
did y'all ever consider the consequences of being natural in whatever way? Whether that was keeping your body natural, keeping your hair natural, not wearing makeup. Did y'all ever think, I could make this choice, this may impact my desirability amongst men, this may attract my, like, this may impact my sex appeal? Did y'all even think that there were possible consequences, or was it just like,
Well, my thing was
No.
always when you take all that off, who are you? Do you have to have sex like that before you could clean your face?
Are you waking up like?
No, like you have to have a like we said before, you have to have a high idea of self. Like when
Yeah.
you look in the mirror, when you get up and look in the mirror, and when you wash your face, you're like, damn, that's a bad bitch. And walk out, and you hold your head up in the air. Don't look down. Hold your hair up in the air, and you will attract. I have a boyfriend who knows I love my man to death, but I get men that come on to me every day, just like the ones with the wigs on.
I'm
So
telling
it's
you.
like, so it does not. So it was never like, okay, will a man find me attractive? No, do you find yourself attractive
And that's what I
when you
believe.
look in the mirror?
I really stand on that.
well, what?
It's not that you conceded. People try to say you conceded. It's not that. It's that I love myself. I'm okay with me.
So this is my. So is that? Did y'all? So was it more so like y'all evolved to that place, or was this something that was cultivated at home? Were y'all encouraged to be okay with self, whatever y'all made of self, or was this something that you got in your own way in later on in life?
All of this
Later, later on in
witchery,
life.
all of this like makeup stuff, that's new to me. Everybody looked normal when I was coming up. Everybody on television looked normal. Everybody in the videos looked normal. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody was walking around looking like, with all due respect,
the same, because they look the
queen.
same.
I just gotta be 100%. Nobody was walking around looking like that with the contours and the lashes and the false hair and everything like that. Everybody was looking like Salt and Pepper, like the just
Monica and
regular.
Brandy.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Girlfriends, living single. Nobody was doing anything
Yep.
all that outrageous. Even if you're gonna go to vanilla people with friends, nobody was walking around looking like Kim Kardashian and Meg the Stallion.
But
This is very, very new. You
but
understand what
that's
I'm saying?
to Voodoo's a voodoo child point. It's easy to say that when what we would do, but we're not in the spotlight when you're a judge harsh constantly. But that's the Lady T's point. Like, so something has happened industry wise then, because you
Yeah,
are
something
bringing
in
up how
the
everybody on TV at one point looked at like everyday people on TV and music, and now something else
there
has
was a
occurred.
shift, and everyone and with the shift now, younger people have to try to have that conversation with themselves. Younger people have to try to figure all of that out. But older people, either they might be using it to like, okay, well, that that's a nice way to like up the ante or whatever. But I just came out of a, well, it's been, I need to stop saying just came out of, it's been a year, but I was in a relationship since 2001 or something like that, up until last June, on and off with this individual. I mean, relationships like these the people that I was having relationships also grew up with normal looking people. You understand what I'm saying? Like not to say that people weren't wearing makeup or people weren't wearing weaves or people weren't wearing wigs, but it just wasn't to
So
this,
much
like yes, like
to
it
take
wasn't
away
to
your
this
whole
degree.
identity.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
social media, especially Instagram, that shifted things a lot. Because even with Facebook original, like it was like, okay, you might see somebody out on vacation or you might see a picture of them, but this whole like I don't know what this is. This has been like less than 10 years in my mind.
And a lot of times, to be honest, I think it's a lot deeper than what people talk about, because I believe a lot of this come from bad relationships, or people telling people how nobody else will want them. When they finish or they don't want you anymore, you the worst in the world. And so now you
Mm-hmm.
got to go get yourself together because he feels like this. And now you thinking, well, if he feel this way, wow, everybody else must see what he see. And now you out here putting on this whole mask, whole face, instead of just being okay with yourself. They do that because they want you to feel that way, because they know they took a loss. They better get the but sometimes it comes from broken relationships and people trying to tell you who you not, only because they know who you are. But if you don't know who you are, these things will destroy you into believing that you supposed to look like somebody else. You supposed to dress a certain way. I told y'all earlier I'm from Brooklyn, and so I'll get up, get dressed with just your sneakers, your uptowns, your
Mm-hmm.
hats at the party. You know, we did more button down versus t-shirts with long slits down. I was married, so I didn't get to do the whole
Mm-hmm.
I missed the whole era of mini skirts and things like that. I was raising kids. I had a household. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot that other people my age was doing, I never experienced it. And now I have my oldest is 30. So I'm shopping on the same rack with her for what? I'm not shopping on the same rack with my grandkids.
Yeah. But tell Mariah Carey that.
Let me tell them. What's the number?
Tasha had brought up Trina, but that's to my point. Like, and this is why I empathize so deeply with women in a way, because I can clearly see the privilege between the genders. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even propping Trina up as like a natural beauty, but she's still propped up as like an idea of beauty, because we're still talking about a very curvaceous woman with a lot of hip, a lot of booty, etc. And that's also a problem propping up Trina, because women and their shape and their sizes, their styles, their build is not monolithic. There are slender built women who don't have hips and ass and should not feel the pressure to acquire hip or ass or any of that. And I think, and see, men don't have to go through this. Like, as a man, nobody was prompted in front of me as to this is who you be. Like, aesthetically, there was no, in the men's world, there is no beauty. It's just you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get your hair cut, and or you braid it, you lock it, you go on, and you just be well groomed, etc. You don't have to have abs. You don't have to have a body. You don't have to have, like, we're
You
not
better preach.
we don't internalize it in that way. Now, for certain types of queer men, it gets complicated. Like, for a man like me, who is very creative and all of that, but
And
just
like me.
generally speaking, like, men don't have that world, and women do, and it's always a comparison to another type of woman.
Which also
That's
creates
if
that
you're
competition.
comparing yourself. That's if you are allowing yourself to be compared. You understand what I mean? I'm not going to say that I don't have days where I'm like, oh, that's human nature. But for the most part, I don't go there. Now, there's a lot of people who are hell bent on making sure that I know where I stand in the grand scheme of things. But in my mind, I'm like, poor baby. I'm the prototype, and you are trying to get me to look more like
What
whatever
you
this,
think I should look like?
huh?
What they think you should look like versus what
Right. You
you
understand
feel
what I'm
good or
saying? Like,
comfortable with.
yeah, what they're comfortable with. And not to say that, you like, I like to change my hair up and things like that. Right now, I'm having a whole hair disaster because, believe it or not, my hair is pink, and that is a complete accident. My hair is pink right now, and it is by accident. It
So
is
you
not
better
by
turn
choice.
it. You better turn
No,
into a
I
damn
am going to
trend.
try to find a toner tomorrow. I don't
Yeah.
know what color toner I need to get, but I'm going to find a
I
toner
live with some pink
tomorrow
hair.
to get this whole situation situated.
Okay, Pink Friday.
No, remember when you was like, "Are you still there, Lady
Mhm.
T?" Early in the other live? That's
And
because
you
I
was
was
working that pink out, honey.
panicking, trying to.
So that's me.
I
I'm
ain't
all
mad,
for
honey.
I'm all
Wow.
for that. If you add a little bit of color, it could change everything. I'm
You know what
definitely down
happened
for the
was I
color.
forgot that I had dyed my hair red at one point. So when I went to go bleach it like I normally do, this red shit came up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, cause I'm used to bleaching it and putting my toner in, and then it's like this like silvery color. Like I was just like, "Oh my god!"
See,
What is
that's why
this?
I love the weaves and wigs and fusions, because I'm somebody that loves to change up my hair, but I'm not willing to put my natural hair through any of that shit. Like,
But
because
you
I know,
wear it though. You wear it. Everybody can't wear it, and they just be doing it because somebody else is doing it. It's different if you wear it well, but just don't do it because she got it or he got it.
yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, like, there's a thick line between like those who get into fashion and get into all of that creatively, from those who are like being driven by something more dysfunctional, like who are altering themselves for dysfunctional reasons. Like, obviously, being creative without appearance goes, I mean, like, indigenous people been putting bones through their nose and tattooing themselves and coloring themselves with clay and all different things. Like, so this kind of like creativeness as it relates to our own personal altar, like your body is your altar. Like, it's one of the only spaces that you have full autonomy of, and decorating that altar to your liking is all a part of just what it just means to be an individual and to have identity, etc. But when you have like the little Kims, and you have people going overboard, and they're driven by trauma, not creativity. They are driven by insecurity, not creativity. They're driven by brokenness, etc. That becomes an issue, and that's something that can lead to taking your fucking life, or just
Try to
going
convince
down
other people that this is who they are, but deep down inside they be dealing with other stuff.
But okay. So also to I'm about to say reckless because I'm over talking, but also to conscious point what he said earlier, like I do understand that the beauty standards are completely different when it comes down between the genders. Because I've actually seen, of course, the barbershops, that's the conversations that are real raw, especially when women aren't around. Where I've literally seen a fat man completely go in on a fat woman. I'm like, you're both in the
as if he's
same
not
boat
even
if
that.
that's the case. You're like, and which is why a Rick Ross, a DJ Khaled can still have a lot of options. Not saying that people aren't attracted to fat or bigger individuals, but however, it's the energy that people typically have, especially when it's like bigger women and bigger men. It's like, y'all know, like you in the same. Like I was looking at him, I was like, you in the same boat, going based off your logic. but
Yeah, no, you are right. Like, men will, like, a dark-skinned man will go in on a dark-skinned woman as if he's not dark-skinned, or a fat or an obese man will go in on an obese woman as if he's not obese, because that's literally how contrasting the socialization is when it comes to men and women. We're socialized incredibly different from one another, and that's that patriarchal male privilege that men have the benefit of pretty much just being in the world and being allowed to conquer it, while everybody else has to live up to all of these very strange ideals and standards and have to be weighted and received and approved of by these systems that patriarchy creates. And it's very weird. Even my own appearance is almost a obstruction to patriarchy, which is why as an influencer, straight men sometimes have a bit. I trigger straight men because they feel entitled to my autonomy. They feel entitled to my body. They feel entitled to the way I show up as a man because they feel entitled to all bodies. They feel entitled to the way everybody shows up. And I'm just like, no, parts of it'll be girly, parts of it'll be manly because I'm in touch with all those forces, feminine, masculine, etc. You can keep my ass. You can't have my body. You cannot have my autonomy. This belongs to me. I will be fully in control. And if it disrupts all of your mental weird bullshit, then that's exactly what it's almost meant to fucking do, really, by design, is to destroy these social constructs. But so to y'all's point, to the ladies, when y'all was saying that it's about self, that is something that, like, I have a niece. Her name is Honesty. She's only a month old, and I'm
I love that.
afraid. I'm afraid. I'm terrified for her as a girl. I'm scared. Like, I'm like, to raise a girl under
You
raise a
better
black
start
Yeah.
woman under all of this, like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to be so intentional in the way that I encourage her, the way that I support her as she develops as a young woman, and just make sure that I root for her independence and I root for her autonomy as she navigates these bizarre systems. But I am much more scared to raise a girl in this world than to raise a boy.
Yeah.
But I
Because
mean,
I have a
there-
darker
there's-
skin. I have a
think that
darker skinned daughter, and I'm so scared for her every day because of society.
yeah.
And when she'll be like, "Mom, I'm black," like, and she'll make little jokes. She'll be like, "It's nighttime, you can't see me," and I'm like, "Okay, Braylon, it's funny." But it's like, I don't want her to be insecure with it. I'm not sure if she's being insecure with it or she's, making a joke out of it. But it's like, I don't want her to let society paint her color in a bad
What-
way because she's beautiful. It's
How
like
old is she how old is she
she's
now?
she's 11.
she'll grow out of it because
And she's I find that interesting.
Oh, she's at the instant age.
she'll grow out of it because I have my second oldest. She's 30, and she's very dark skinned, and she used to make jokes and stuff or whatever. But as she grew up and planning herself the way I guess she felt she wanted to be planted in the world or whatever, she's definitely off the hook. You can't tell her shit. Yeah, brace her.
I grew up in an environment to where I never heard anything inside of my house about
The color.
the color. And then if I did see an image of someone who was darker or lighter or whatever on the television, it was either, like if they were bad, if they were bad, if they was beautiful, they was beautiful. It had nothing to do with
The
color
shade.
or light skin, dark skin. And one of my sisters is about
Or thick or skinny. If you was bad, you was bad. As a
right.
skinny
It was
chick,
like,
as
if
an
Gladys
athletic
Knight
chick,
came
as
on,
a
it was
thick
like,
chick.
oh, that fine ass Gladys Knight. If it was Sade, that fine ass Sade. Like it wasn't anything in regards to that. And then it was just, I mean.
But I think that Conscious, I'm gonna say this on behalf of your niece. I think that you are a perfect example only because she'll be growing up knowing that it's okay to be yourself.
Right.
And there are images out there. They're not. It's not Doja and Megan and whoever else we've been talking a lot about for the past couple of nights are not the only ones. We have Marisai out there. We have the other young lady. She was on there with, oh God, what's the girl's name? But you know what I'm talking about. The pretty young lady that was on the show with her on Blackish, the other sister. What is the girl's name? She does the college show now. Oh my God. We have Marisai Martin. She's on Blackish, and then we have her older sister that was on the show. She does Grownish too. She's on that.
I've never seen those shows.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's
I'm party to the party.
That's okay. The point is there are role models out there, or there's images out there. Let me not say role models. There are images out there that she can gravitate to, that she can look to. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't have, you don't have to, all is not necessarily lost. I think that you might be pushing it a little bit, thinking that they're going to stay off of the internet and social media up until 18.
But we don't even know
However,
if you come into, if we think about, if we look at back when and we look at now, just to even imagine what the females are going to be doing when these kids grow up. Like my 16-year-old, she's Team Cardi all the way. She came downstairs one day talking about, you got a problem. I'm like, Nicki Minaj. I said, got a who? She was like, the new song, it just dropped at 12 o'clock. And I'm like, you waited till 12?
My God.
Yeah, and so the kids are looking up to these people.
But if there's also, if you have to have a balance, you know what I mean? Like you have to intentionally, I wouldn't shield them from the reality of things, but I would definitely provide some opposition or some counter arguments. You know
I'm
what I
gonna tell you
mean?
what I'm gonna tell my niece. I'm going to encourage her to get a gun, and then I'm gonna tell her, baby, just shoot every motherfucker that told you the opposite of what your uncle told you. Just shoot their ass dead, baby. We gotta take care. So what is the role of keeping, like, because I'm like, girl, when do we introduce you to the rest of the world? When do we when, I don't even know when, like, I don't, like, I'm
I don't know
almost
what to
like,
tell you, because my 8-month-old
I'm
niece
telling
is
my
watching
brother, like,
right along with me.
she need to be on a house phone until she 18. No cell phones, no TV till she 18, no cable till she 18. Like, she need to be she need to be raised at home. She need to wear her skirts down to her ankle, like, you know, stockings under her jeans, like I want to raise her like a damn Amish woman, honey.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like a lot of times, when you start to hide or even like, I say restrict children. I would say children or the people that you're looking after, you know,
then they don't
of
be
certain
honest
things.
with you because
That's
they know how you gonna feel.
the honesty is gonna be a bit of and then I think more of the urge of wanting it just like goes through the roof. But so I'm just me taking a guess.
I can never
I
raise such
think
shit.
I think the whole thing behind it is just that I guess to understand that some stuff is gonna happen and just try to keep that communication open and like that's really I'm just kind of just going based off that, because it's really like you said, it's no blueprint to none of this, and every child is different. So you may have a child that may be like, okay, I'm not gonna do it, and may not do it. Now the next child you may have to threaten them to break their neck, but however you got the same result, just two different roads. There's no blueprint to it. So I guess you just try to keep that communication open. Like okay, so like for instance, the whole thing when it comes down to children or like teenagers and sex, you know, like a lot of people like, don't you dare have sex. They should know y'all here just hoeing. But for the thing is, like, we understand stuff is gonna happen, so I think one of the things to do is just let them know how to do it safely. So at least
one of the things that one of the things that I want to give to her is something that I wish I had growing up as somebody who had such a strong knowing of self at a very early age, is to trust, to actually trust her, to trust in what she knows about herself. One of the things I love about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union when it comes to their children, particularly their approach to, what's the daughter's name of Reckless? Dwayne Wade? Zaya, is that they've allowed themselves to accept that I'm not here to give Zaya an identity. If anything, hell, she's here teaching me how to go along with the journey of her self-discovery. And I think if my parents would have participated instead of trying to gatekeep and trying to resurrect walls and fences to protect me from self, something that's inevitable. Self is a inevitable spill out. It's a bleed out. It can't be contained. It's going to ooze through every crack and crevice. It can be guided, but it can't be avoided or stopped. And so just accepting that, to Reckless' point, you don't, not to be afraid of what it's like to not necessarily have control, and to approach parenting more as me being a guidance, not a dictator, but just someone who's guiding this person along and giving them the things that they feel they need in the moment that they feel they need those things. But I can understand how hard that is, though, because as a guardian or a parent or having being in any authority, you're terrified because you are aware of just how easy it is to go down the craziest paths in life, and everything in you want to stop that from being the case for your children or your nieces, your nephews, your grandbabies, whatever the case may be. But because I love the way that I turned out, I got to give honesty. I got to give honesty. Like I gotta let her live. Like I gotta trust her. I gotta let her do her because.
She's a couple of months, right?
Yeah, she's 1 month. She's 1 month, and I'm like, she's turning 18. What? And I'm already crazy.
Girl, Conscious. Girl,
I'm gonna tell you, my niece.
I'm over here thinking
I told y'all I'm terrified. I told y'all I'm scared. That's how scared I am. I am already paranoid, and she's only 1 fucking month.
Consciouztv.
But it's true because you never know. Cause
just talk to the child. At 1 month, my niece had already done seen that Tupac autobiography, RuPaul's Drag Race, Vicky Dillard. She just, Lord knows what is gonna come up out of that child's mouth. She's already trying to walk. These pandemic babies is different, but when it's time for the lesson,
my 16-year-old is different. I had my first in 1990, and then this one was born in 2006. She's definitely like she spoke, she walked, she did everything fast.
Sure did.
Yeah, they're
now
like
with her.
They come in with self. They come in with identity. You know, these kids are coming in as a prodigy. Like they're ready clear.
Like,
they're fucking
clear. I'm here.
Yeah.
So when it's time to have the conversations, but don't sit there and think like this chat. Well, I understand the fear because some of these kids is real special.
I don't got my fear because she's 16 and she's in 10th grade. She's 16 and her best friend, she's in 12th grade. So I mess with her Instagram. I check things out. So I'm looking at her inbox, and her friend is telling her how she's thinking about having sex with her boyfriend. Mind you, she's in 12th grade. My daughter's in 10th grade. And I'm like, well, Jemiah, why is she asking you this stuff? And she was like, I don't know. It's not me. It's not my problem. I'm like, excuse me. Why would she think you can educate her on some stuff? Like, don't you tell that girl what she should do, girl.
Yeah.
I think, and I think that goes back to my point I was saying earlier. But one of the things that I was going to say in addition to that is that I think a lot of times too we need to have that safe boundary of knowing when to be the parent and when to also be the friend as well. Because a lot of times my mom, she like when we finally did have our conversations and stuff about certain stuff, she the number one thing she always said was, "Why do you come and tell me?" Because I was like, I didn't feel comfortable coming to tell you. Like I didn't, because like I understand when it comes down to parenting and being the figure or whatever. I understand that a lot of times we always focus on the stuff that we say directly, but sometimes too it's the stuff that you don't say that children also pay attention to as well. So especially you as a parent or a guardian or even as a mentor has a history of getting mad about certain things, they're gonna be like, okay, I don't know if I can come to her about this, because that's how I felt with my mom. Like, not saying that my mom's not understanding, because she's very understanding, at least now. This girl, it was a long time. But however, she always wanted to know why do you not come to me about certain things? And I was like, Mom, like, a lot of things that you said indirectly, I didn't feel comfortable, like that doorway wasn't open for us.
Right.
So, you know.
No, you're right. It's you know, speaking about parenting is one thing, but then it's like it's a whole nother thing when like the opportunity, like when it's like ready, set, go, and you're in that position, and it's like, damn, I really understand how that ebb and flow, and just self awareness and self control, and not being like a fear mongering parent. Because like my grandmother, she's like a fear mongering parent. Like she controls you by making you terrified of the world. Like the devil, it's the evil, the crime, the violence, the stay home girl, live like she. If she can keep you in the nest, she will keep your ass nested. Like, and it's not healthy, and it's out of fear, and it doesn't promote growth, and it doesn't help a person to come into their self and to learn the dynamics of their own life. But man, that it goes. But I'm also, this is also why I'm like, you gotta, parenting is an art form. That's why I don't, you know, I'm hard on the parent concept in general. Like, I don't like the idea of having children before self is clear, because whatever's not clear, you're going to project onto your children, and they're going to be carved out of whatever that lack of clarity is. And so I think parenting is we give children a best shot at us when we've arrived as self. And that's what you give away and evangelize to young people. It's what you've achieved in self. But yeah, it's a lot. But we do have to wrap. I do have to get my ass up. Bringing it, and we'll have to come back and get into. This is an interesting dialogue in and of itself. As it relates to Kimberly, do y'all think her time is up? She should go to Lady T's point, make that good bean pie, go give us an old nasty cooking channel, go give us a nasty cookbook. Is it time for, should Kim retire it, or do y'all think that Kim got some more zest left in her?
Maybe she could become a designer. Maybe she could help maybe other artists come into like their different apparel as far as being, you know, dressing and, you know, looking the part of your song and stuff like that.
Maybe she can open up a female rap boot camp, some type of like institute, some type of like cultivating system or programs for female rappers coming in. Maybe she can also take her issues and implement that. Kim could do a lot with her life experience. There's a lot for her to offer as someone who has had the type of life experience that she's had, and just giving. You know what? So to that point, is it just me? I feel like Kim don't speak enough about the big elephants in the room. I'm just like, girl, go in. Like, talk to us about the surgery. Talk to us about the trauma. Talk to, like, women, especially more than ever coming into this game, need to hear about the way you can internalize this thing and it could fuck you up in life. The way you can internalize how the industry is and the way that colorism is prompted. I feel like we don't hear it. Is it just me? Or maybe it's out there and I don't know that she's carrying it.
I think she has a book.
Don't really speak on
she
it
has a book.
Yeah. But she don't volunteer no information about it.
Got it. Yeah.
I think the whole thing with that too. I think she's probably just a little bit guarded with that, only because like I already got bitches already out here just attacking me for. You know, I kind of just brush it off, but bitch, once I address it, bitch, it's gonna be on and popping. But I do believe she does have a book. Now, exactly what's all in her book, I know for a fact that she did address, I believe, some of her abuse, you know, her abuse and stuff. But I don't know how much stuff is actually in there. But I think she does have a book. But I was gonna say something. Damn, it was to your point earlier, but it'll come back to me. Lord speak.
Yeah, we can do it. Is there any lasting thoughts that anybody wants to sound off on before we wrap up this little Kim commentary?
Just to kind of, you know, give our new generation security on that, being okay with being who you are.
I agree.
Okay with who you are. Okay. Oh, perfect question before we let off. Do y'all do y'all think selective surgery, cosmetic surgery, can be an act of self-love? Because that's also been a debate. If surgery also can be an act of self-love.
I
I
think
think
so,
so.
especially when you start messing with the color of your skin.
So you think that it can be an act of self-love to get surgery?
Oh no.
Yeah. So that's the question, is like loving yourself enough to, like some people are arguing that loving yourself enough to improve upon yourself can be the context for selective surgery. Whether that's getting your teeth done, whether that's getting,
Well,
I
I'm
don't know,
definitely
like,
down for the teeth thing. That was,
Yeah, teeth. I feel like teeth is connected to so many things as far as your health is concerned. So making sure your teeth is straight is one thing.
I was gonna speak on that because I was like, you see a lot of these different surgeries, but nobody's fixing their mouth.
But nobody's fixing their
I
teeth.
think,
well, the mouth is becoming a big thing. Everybody
Like, don't
getting,
fix the
yeah,
everybody
mouth
getting them
then now.
veneers now.
because everybody over here looking like Nene Leaks. All right, so I'm gonna say this. But let me stop because I do like her at times. Okay, so I will say this. I think it's two factors that come into play when it comes down to that. Because I do believe, we have selective, surgery. That is a thing of self love. But I think the whole thing is when you gets addictive.
Right.
And then on top of that, I do believe now when you have to make a distinctive decision, are you doing this for yourself authentically, or is this something that's controlled by and I like to call them isms, as in colorism? Are you doing this because you really want to do this because you may have like a brown patch over here, you want to even the tone of your skin out, or are you doing this because you have underlying colorism
What
or
if I'm
anything
a
like
woman
that?
and I say I want fuller breasts because it just makes my tops look better? It makes my bras, my shirts, my outfit. Like, what if I do it purely from that place? Could that be argued? Is that okay in your opinion? Or
Now that could be a bit tricky, only because yes, I will say yes, but at the same time, that could be, for me, that could probably be a bit tricky because some women may say that, but however, they may do that just to seem more appealing to men.
For me, it's more
So
of a
okay, okay. So let's say that you want so mates is a part of having a mate is a part of cultivating a life for yourself. So what would be the difference between all the other improvements we make emotionally and mentally to be appropriate for a relationship versus the things we do cosmetically to be appropriate for the dating field?
the thing with the cosmetic part is,
I think,
And I'm just
if
playing
you're
devil's
not,
advocate here.
especially when it comes to like boobs and stuff, actually having to lay on the table, is it worth your life? Because keeping it real, a lot of this stuff have taken people out of here. So is it worth your life?
Well, I was gonna say too, like, because now that you are being the devil's advocate, I am thinking
And
that
before you say that,
maybe.
I want to add something to that too. And then
Okay.
to Tasha's point, or like me, if you had kids, breastfed, gained and lost 100 pounds, I do it totally. Now, let's say that, so let's argue from right there too. Like if so somebody would on one end argue that no, self-love would have you be proud of your rite of passage as a mother to bring kids into this world. And if your breasts fell flat or you gained weight, those are your badges of honor. Those are your war wounds
Absolutely. I
for
love
your
my love
power
handles.
as a child bearer. And you should wear that with pride, not with shame or with whatever. While to Tasha's point, she says, hey, even though that's a powerful feminine experience, I want my breath in the air. I want them up and stuck. So
One of my things is my stomach, because like I said, I have 7 kids, and so my stomach is definitely something that I've been dealing with. But I just got under a trainer. I walk 2 hours a day. I have my own equipment and I weight lift, and I work on it naturally, only because I know that there could be a serious price to play if I laid on the table.
Okay. And to Reckless, he was about to say something too.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, because since now you're like being devil's advocate, I will take that back about the whole thing about the breasts, about doing it for men and stuff. Because you think about it, a lot of people, yeah, they work out and stuff, but sometimes they work out and seem to look more attractive, and that helps with their self-esteem as well too. So
Yeah.
for me, I would say as a safe answer for me right now, I would say as long as it's not like over the top and it's like doing it just is like it's addictive or
So would
anything
you
like that.
call laying down on a surgery table over the top? If you take it to the point of wanting to get cut open, put under anesthesia, you're probably going overboard in your opinion.
I feel like once you take the weight off, the thing to do is to tighten it up, and that's what a lot of people don't do. Because at first, when I lost the weight, I was sagging and stuff, and then when I really got into, lifting and things like that, and started tightening up, I definitely like what I see, versus the sagging.
That sagging happens when people aren't exercising simultaneously as they're losing the weight, especially if they've undergone weight loss surgeries and it's coming off rapidly. But people that have lost weight like naturally but were exercising the whole time, the skin kind of goes,
it molds.
Yeah, it molds little by little as they go down.
Well,
Yeah, so
my
you
sagging
supposed to
came
weight
from
train.
breastfeeding. Out of all my kids, my last one was my only breastfeeder, and she took everything.
Is there anything you could do outside of surgery to like lift them back up or
But
whatever?
don't y'all think?
I work out and I'm under a trainer, so it's.
So when you
But
work
don't
out,
y'all
are they
think
pulled back
that?
up?
But don't y'all think that this is societal? Because women of the 1300s, I'm sure, wasn't like it. Like I don't know, how concerned Mary was about her fupa after. Like I wonder, do y'all think this is really like when we even think about what it takes for us to feel confident? Aren't we still basing that roughly on
off of ism,
on the way we are perceived and received societally? Like because
if you're a size 40 something bra and your titties are sagging, now your back hurts. So I
exactly.
So like outside of like obviously like, but see, I wouldn't call that selective surgery. I would that would be
that's actual improvement.
like a necessary surgery, like when your health is impacted by your physiology. But aside from that,
if I wasn't able to do it myself, then absolutely, because the doctor have offered it to me, but I wanted to try on my own.
I'm laughing because I actually have a friend. Her chest was so big that she was like saying stuff like that. Like it's just like it's funny to me only because like I've talked about this stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I got a cousin. I got a female cousin who went and got a breast reduction because her breast gave her back pain.
Yeah.
It was hard to carry them titties, so she got a breast reduction, and she damn proud of her current size, and she don't have any of those issues with her posture and stuff like that. So I get those type of surgeries. I think the conversations around all of this is very interesting. Like
it's nuanced.
Yeah, it's very nuanced, very multi-layered. There's a lot to unpack, and probably surgery probably isn't really the issue. It comes down to like we just have to evaluate each individual, like because each individual is going to have they show up uniquely in sight of all of this.
Hey, well, I'm not the exercise kind of person, so I'm just gonna go get this done. You know what I mean? And you have some that say, "Well, listen, I'm gonna try to work this out." And so
that's how Kim Zolciak was from Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was like, "Girl, if there's a machine, a procedure that can give me the results," she was like on it. She was not for that workout, go to the gym. If it can be frozen off, lasered off, yeah, she was here for all that.
I think people are welcome to do, whatever. People are welcome to do whatever they want to do to them, to themselves.
Yeah.
But where I'm gonna have the issues is if we're gonna equate it to self-love. I'm not gonna equate it to self-love. I can rock with you, if that's what you need to get through, because this world can be very, very hard and very, very harsh and all of those things. So if you can't, handle it, and you need something to help soften the blow, then go ahead and do whatever you need to do to help soften the blow. But we're not going to act like you're not trying to soften the blow.
But
You know
don't
what I'm saying? Like,
don't try to make other people feel like they less than because they
and then don't, especially that part.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, Kimberly, you're a beautiful girl. If you happy, then we happy. I think that a lot of conversations need to be happening as well in the industry. I feel like both male rappers and female rappers can be having. They could be doing a lot more with their platform. I mean, it's like heavy as the head that wears the crown. I expect more from people who have a lot more. Like the more you have, like I'm going to burden you with more responsibility because that's just what should come with having more of anything.
Absolutely.
It's a more responsible usage of those resources. So I really hope that, I hope that Kim can take it further. I think that may be what God is calling. She may be resisting it for whatever reason, but I feel like God may be calling Kim. Like that's the next leg of her career is to be an activist. Like somebody was mentioning K. Michelle. I love the show she has on Lifetime right now about body dysmorphia and helping people through corrective surgery, etc. And her talking about, her own issues with her injections and everything she went through with her health. And it's a beautiful tone and message. And in this day and age of social media, the Kardashians, these hyper standards, the fact that now, once again, they're creating apps to appeal to something that's kind of innate to a lot of Western people. A lot of Western people, like as a Western society, we are really idealistic. They're creating these apps now to put you in that position to experience yourself as your perfected self. That's why these photoshopping apps are getting more extreme. Shifting and altering yourself is becoming more extreme and more available to you. And it's going to take us more into a delusion. So just being very clear about mental health and applying the pressure to our idols to just be more resourceful and be more lucid in what they bring to the forefront. I think it's all a call to action. Because I do think we're going down a very, very dangerous path. I do. I think it's getting out of control, and it's going to get more out of control. But if we got to come back and talk about it, we will. I want to thank you guys for joining me in the late night hours to have this discussion. Because of y'all, I'm probably going to have to reschedule my tattoo appointment for the third time because every time I wake up, I'm like, boo, what about tomorrow? What about tomorrow? What about tomorrow? What about tomorrow? Because I just can't. But if I got to stay my ass up until my appointment tomorrow, that's what I'm going to fucking do. But I definitely gonna lay my ass down. I want to thank y'all for coming up here. This was a wonderful.
Do y'all have a channel?
Yes, a Lady T has a channel that she can shout out. And I know that Reckless Logic has a channel. And if Kiki has a channel, we can shout her out too. So Lady T, can you tell everybody where they can find you at?
Yes, everybody. Hi, how's everybody doing? You all can find me at the Tea Lounge. Once again, the Tea Lounge, and I'm Lady T. Hope to see you over there. Thank you so much, and thank you, Conscious. Thank you, guys. And I'll talk with you all soon. Conscious, get your behind up and go to your tattoo appointment. It ain't that hard, okay? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being up here. I Refuse to Lose. Do you have a channel?
Yes, I do. It's Refuse to Lose.
I didn't know you was a content creator. Refuse to Lose.
I'm struggling.
Oh God, we're gonna help you out with your struggle. Shout out your channel.
Refuse to Lose BTS. I talk about some of everything. So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna post everybody probably this afternoon when I know folk are woke. and looking at YouTube and post everybody's channel to my community wall. So you guys make sure to be looking for that community wall, and I'll post Lady T and Reckless and Refuse to Lose channel as well. Thank you for being up here, boo. I love you so much. Thank you.
I hope it's gonna be somewhere where we can see it.
Huh?
Your tattoo.
Well, I'm getting my hand. I'm getting another coating, and then I'm dragging the ink down to my fingers. So
wow.
I don't know what I don't know. Like I may get like some like where this ring is. I may just get that blacked out in this like the width of it, or I don't know whether I just want to cover my fingers. I don't know whether I want to put letters, but I just know we're dragging everything down on both hands. So yeah. And then I gotta go get like all of this shit filled in because I want to put like maybe some purple or shit in between my sacred geometry symbols, and I don't know. I just have. Then I'm gonna get all of this filled. It's just a lot. Yeah. Y'all will be seeing everything because the more tattooed I become, the more naked I get.
I know that's the part.
So, yeah. But thank you for being up here, love. I'm probably going to come to you guys tomorrow night as well, so we'll be live again.
Got you.
Young Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yes, Young Pharaoh. Okay, boo.
Night.
Lady Kiki, are you there, love?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good night, y'all. I don't have a channel. I'm in the midst of making one. But
yes, you should. It's wonderful. It's fun as fuck being a content creator. It's also hell on wheels, but it's okay.
Thanks for the encouragement.
You should definitely. Okay, but thank you for coming up here, love. I really appreciate your contribution. And we're gonna be talking about Young Pharaoh and his bullshit with his baby mama. So if you've been looking at all that drama that's been going on, definitely hit the link and come and spill your tea tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'm about to research and I have some tea. Okay.
Okay, well. Good night. Reckless.
Ooh, girl.
You ain't been on Bingo in a long time either, right?
Yeah, I haven't really.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been going back to my spiritual practices and stuff. So I really haven't been really on the internet like that, honestly.
Yeah.
So I guess this is my my break. Put it in a sense, because usually I just be able to cuss people out and stuff for fun. Yeah. But I'm kind of just, like mentally I'm going through it, but not in a bad way. I'm mentally getting back to where I needed to be and stuff. So I'm feeling more like myself, which makes me, want to come back, like even like back on YouTube and stuff. So, So by the way, Reckless Logic is the YouTube channel. But however, I will be on Bigo. It's gonna be Reckless Bureau. And I follow my Instagram too. That's gonna be Strictly Reckless. Especially if you really want to really contact me, I'm always on IG. So if you ever want to DM me, cuss me out, let me know how much you love me, how much you hate me. Just Strictly Reckless.
Strictly Reckless. I'm gonna post everybody up tomorrow. And so Lady Nico, I know you've been emailing me. I've been so swamped, but I'm going to respond to your ass. Okay, I ain't forgot about you, boo. So I got you. Okay, well, what you doing today's Sunday? If I'm not in too much pain, I would like to go live tonight and talk about the Pharaoh bullshit, depending on how my hand gonna be like.
You talking about today, like Sunday today?
Yeah.
We can. I ain't doing nothing. I was planning on trying to do my other video tomorrow, but I could do that beforehand, and then we can go live tonight.
Okay.
So yeah, we can.
Okay. And you guys know my email and everything is Consciouztv@gmail, Patreon, patreon.com/Consciouztv, PayPal, paypal.me/Consciouztv, Cash App, $ Consciouztv. All that stuff is always listed in the description box. That's why I put it in the banner and shit, so that y'all don't have to ask me during live what is all that shit. So it'll always be right here. But I want to thank everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. This was a dope dialogue. Have a wonderful night.